plays and 12 plays and don't come up with any points, that becomes difficult to beat really good teams. So, emphasis of third down conversions and doing, execute on third down and execute in the red zone.
One thing that's obviously gotten better in recent weeks, the pass game and the playmakers at wide receiver. Let's start with Andrew Marsh with the explosive play last week. Each week, do you put a little more on that freshman's plate?
Yeah, absolutely. He's an extremely talented kid that works extremely hard and put more on his plate, put more on Bryce's plate, put more on everybody's plate to be more explosive. But with that, we got to continue to do that, put him in different spots, which we will today, and we also got to open up that run game.
And Donovan McCulley, earlier in the year, like the Oklahoma game, there were some miscommunications with Bryce. Those seem to be in the past. They're really dialed in right now.
They do a really good job of getting together before and after practice. There's a lot of post-practice work that you see getting done there, and those guys are really on a really good page. So, looking forward to watching them work today.
All right, it's Michigan and Washington. We'll talk more about the opponent straight ahead. You're listening to Michigan Football from Learfield.
We asked our team, why did you choose to work for Michigan Medicine? Here are some of their answers.
Being able to interact with patients, offer them hope, and hopefully giving them care that they couldn't receive anywhere else is the biggest thing.
Because it's the best of the best. We have great benefits. We have great leadership.
I love what I do. This is a place where you want to be if you're looking to make change.
To our team, we say, thank you for choosing us. We shape the future of healthcare together at Michigan Medicine.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
Michigan fans, kickoff is right around the corner, and Buddy's, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946, has the best corners in the game. With its iconic square shape and crispy, crunchy corners, Buddy's is a proud partner of Michigan athletics. Handcrafted daily with Wisconsin brick cheese, fresh toppings, and sauce on top. Whether you're tailgating at the Big House or watching from the best seat in your house, start game day off right with Buddy's. Get 10% off your order right now at buddyspizza.com with promo code 10OFF.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
We're back with more from head coach Sharon Moore. Once again, here's Doug Karsh.
Coach, offensively, Damon Williams, he is so fast. He got counted for almost 550 yards last week, and this is a problem.
Yeah, he is a problem. He's probably one of the most dynamic players in college football, honestly. He's not a big guy, but he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's dynamic throwing the football. He's dynamic running it. So we got to do a great job of keeping him in the pocket, keeping him, throwing from the well, making it hard for him to throw, and then not letting him get out and scramble.
Both Mateer and Maeva, when you face them, can you draw from that experience? Does that help you in a game like today, having faced two guys that were tough to get to the ground? Yeah,
Maeva, not as, he didn't run as much. He was really good in the pocket, but he's a bigger guy, so you see a lot more. And then Mateer, again, the same thing. It's going to be about tackling and keeping those guys in the pocket. For the most part, we did that, but when Mateer got out the pocket, he made more plays with his arm than with his leg, whereas this kid's going to make the plays with his leg. So we got to do a really good job of just great angles in pursuit when we go attack him.
Defensively, what stands out on film about their defense?
Sound, physical, not very complicated. I know Coach Walters does a really good job with his scheme. Obviously, we faced him in 22. We faced him in 23. So a guy that's got a really good handle on the defense and how to do it. And they've changed and molded a little bit since he's been at Illinois and Purdue. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Okay, this may be completely irrelevant, and feel free to tell me that it's irrelevant, but long drives to start games for the opponent against you, and yet Washington's fallen behind big in recent weeks. How key is the start today?
Yeah, it's huge. It's one of the key emphasis of the game. We got to start super fast in all three phases. You'd love for it to be a 3-and-out and score on the first drive, and that's what we're going to aim to do.
Anything new to expect today?
We're going to put some playmakers in some different positions. Experiment a little bit with Samaj Morgan in the backfield, doing some different things. He's a great ball in hand guy, and he runs very strong for how big he is. Example is the Nebraska game and making that third down play and running over guys, and what he did his freshman year against Rutgers. I forget about that sometimes. He made about 5 guys missing a phone booth and scored a touchdown. So he's got ability back there, and we'll continue to move everybody around to see what happens.
All right, final thing. If you're celebrating a Michigan victory and talking to John Jansen after this one, what are some of the key things that need to happen?
We got to win the trenches on both sides of the football. We got to be able to run the football, but obviously protect the quarterback. Defensively, we got to do the same thing. We got to hone in on that guy. We got to make sure he's locked in there. We've got to limit the explosive plays. They're probably going to have 1 or 2 because they're an explosive team, but we got to limit a lot of the big plays. And then offensively, we've got to convert on third down in the red zone and finish drives.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There he is, Sharon Moore. Kickoff is straight ahead. You're listening to Michigan Football from Learfield.
When you're injured, the first thing you need is a huddle. The right offense, the right plan, the right call. For 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been that huddle, fighting for the people and recovering more than $25 billion for our clients. This season, we're teaming up with the University of Michigan Athletics because the right huddle doesn't just protect you, it helps you win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Injured? Just dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, Michael Hanna, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, 48266.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Michigan basketball season is quickly approaching. Both the men's and women's programs have high expectations along with jam-packed home schedules. And now is your chance to secure single-game tickets for the upcoming season. Visit mgoblue.com/tickets to lock in your seats as the men's team tries to hang another banner after last year's Big Ten tournament title, and the women's squad builds around the loaded core of Olivia Olson, Silas Swords, and Mila Holloway. We'll see you at Chrysler Center this winter. Head to mgoblue.com/tickets.
Experiencing a Wolverines game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the field, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Back to the drawing board, right? Every week is a new week.
All you can worry about is this game and don't worry about anything else.
Just as a team, we got to come together more than ever now.
We have to trust ourselves, and we have to trust each other, and we have to trust the coaches that we're going to make adjustments.
Just focus on our next week and focus on us so we can do better and execute well.
Focusing on making perfect execution on every play.
We just got to make sure we're all doing what we're supposed to, doing our assignments and really straining through the plays.
It takes all 11 to do their job and do their job right.
Big Ten conference play, bro. We just got to keep going, keep rolling, and then we'll be all right.
All our goals are still in front of us, though, so we just got to keep going.
We just got to go 1-0 this week.
We will persist until we succeed. That's what we will do.
Michigan football is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan Athletics. By the Michigan Lottery. For fun, for schools. Your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Coke Zero Sugar. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. And by Don'tRegretTheBet.org. Helpful tips to play it smart when you gamble from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Once again, with national champion John Jansen, here's Doug Karsh.
Welcome back inside the big house. It's Michigan and Washington today on a gorgeous day in Ann Arbor. We'll get this one going shortly, but first let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield. It's 4-2 Michigan coming off that loss at USC against a 5-1 Washington team. Head coach there, former Michigan passing game coordinator Jedd Fisch. His 6th year as a head coach, UCLA, Arizona, and now Washington. In Seattle, it's year 2 where he is 11-8. And he was a big part of the early Jim Harbaugh years here in Ann Arbor. And John Jansen, very well-coached team offensively, the Huskies.
They are. They're very disciplined. You're not going to see a lot of penalties. You're not going to see a lot of guys out of position. They're going to be doing what they have to do to give themselves a chance to win. And now it's up to Michigan to figure out how you're going to crack the code against a dynamic quarterback in Damon Williams and in a rushing attack that is... It's potent. 11 touchdowns from one guy to this point in the year. They're very good in the red zone. They're very good at putting the ball in the end zone.
You mentioned Damon Williams, 402 yards passing last week for the Huskies, 2 touchdowns plus 143 yards rushing, non-sacks yards. That's 545 yards of total offense. Now, look, hey, it was Rutgers, and their defense ain't great, but still, 545 is 545.
Right, and it was largely all in the second half of that Rutgers game. So I'm not sure what happened in that game, but that's what you expect from Jedd Fisch, is a guy that can make adjustments at halftime and come out. And I love the opportunity that this defense has to go against a quarterback like this. Coming out of that game against USC, a lot of questions swirling around this defense, about the violence, about the fight. This is a great opportunity to be able to respond against a very good player.
The best quote on Damon Williams this week came from Michigan defensive tackle Damon Payne. Does he remind you of anyone? Yep, he reminds me of a great player. So there you go. Tackling, it's real simple. Got to tackle better than they did a week ago. Michigan's rush defense was a disappointment as the Wolverines come charging out of the Lloyd Carr Tunnel on the eastern sideline. John Jansen, they got to be better tacklers today.
They do, and some of that is how do they get to that position? And up front, you can't have any heroes. You've got to be able to if you're supposed to take on a block or a double team, do that, let the linebackers make the plays. Make sure that they know exactly what you're doing. And if you're a secondary guy coming up, or if you're in the open field, it's about the track, the path that you take. You put yourself in position to even make that play.
Sherrone Moore, his second full-time year as the head coach of the Wolverines, 4-2, 11-7 overall. Said the guys understood what happened last weekend at USC. The message, go back to work. Coach had his blue-collar work coat on at his presser Monday. Offensively, he wants them to finish drives better today. Chip Lindsey also saying we shot ourselves in the foot, and that was an emphasis in practice all week. When you have one of the better kickers in the country and you have points, you can't have negative plays to take you out of field goal range.
No, if you've done the work to get into scoring distance, you got to be able to come away with, whether it's 3 or 6. And, one of the challenges has been for Michigan is putting the ball in the end zone, in the red zone. And for this Washington defense, they've given a lot of yardage in between the 20s. They really stiffen up in the red zone. So it's going to be a huge opportunity for Michigan. And, there's a lot of talk about, hey, we understand, and you go out there and you show the work shirt. It's going to be about what they show today.
Well, you look at Michigan offensively, there was discussion early in the week about trying to up the tight end usage in the pass game. Issue is no Marlon Klein today. The captain is out. Now, Hogan Hansen's been getting healthier. Hogan is a very, very talented young player and a kid that probably wants to show well as being a native of Bellevue, Washington. He becomes your primary target from the tight end spot today.
Expectations for the position. Hogan Hansen, we saw him do it last year against USC. We saw it when Colston couldn't go. He's got to be that guy when Marlon Klein goes. Zach Marshall has been the most consistent player at that position because he's been the healthiest. He's ready to go as well.
We await final word on Justice Haynes, but he did go through pregame warm-ups, fully padded, looked good. We'll see if indeed he is a go. He left last week's game against USC with an undisclosed injury. As far as Michigan's quarterback position, Bryce Underwood, last week they liked his poise and his playmaking ability. They're putting more on him week to week in terms of RPOs, but the sack he took that took him out of field goal range and the interception, those were the things that stood out. And this week, Chip Lindsey said it was 5 or 6 plays, but they were costly 5 or 6.
They were, and in regards to that sack that took him out of field goal range, he's running away from a linebacker that came from depth, and I don't know if whether he didn't know he was coming or didn't feel like coming from that distance he'd be able to take him, but there's got to be that clock that goes off in his head. Now he knows what that looks like, what it feels like, and I expect him, what did we hear about him early in the season coming out of training camp? Not a guy that makes the same mistake twice. Opportunity today to show that he's not going to be that guy that makes the same mistake over and over.
Well, it's been a more explosive Michigan offense this year. Plays of 20 yards or more. Last year, the entire season, 36. This year so far, 30. Pretty good, but they're going to need a big part of that is Justice Haynes.
Right, yeah, whether he's able to go or not, how much he's able to go if he's in the game. And then other guys, whether it's Jordan Marshall, he's going to have to step up. He's going to be, carrying a lot more of the load back there. We might see Jasper Parker, but it really comes down to some of those wide receivers as well. Being able to have Andrew Marsh with 8 catches last week, it's just, hey, explosive plays are still there to be made even without Justice.
We go downstairs for the coin flip. We'll hear from our lead official Jason Nickleby. He said you want the rock? You want the rock?
Yeah, hell yeah, we want the rock.
Michigan gets the rock first here in Ann Arbor.
Washington has won the toss and has deferred their choice to the second half. Michigan will receive at this end of the stadium. Good luck, men.
Wolverines will move right to left, their first possession. Out there with the Wolverines, one of the all-time greats, All-American edge rusher and Philadelphia Eagle, Brandon Graham. What a great player Brandon was.
Yeah, I mean, and what a great NFL career. I mean, you talk about the opportunities to play in the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, and the moments, the Michigan on Michigan crime with the sack that he had against Tom Brady. So great to see him down here.
Jason Avant's down below. I saw you just had a couple words with Brandon.
Yeah, I did have a couple words with Brandon. I have Brandon here. How does it feel to be back, Brandon?
Man, it feels good to be back in the big house, baby. Wish I was playing, but you already know. You know how it goes.
Well, enjoy your time with your family.
Yes, sir. Go blue.
There he is. Well done, Jason.
Sounds like he is actually ready to play.
He is ready to go. His family is here. He wants to show out for his family one more time.
There you go.
Give him a jersey.
Let's set the Michigan offense. Evan Link, Gio Ahadi, Greg Crippen, Jake Guanara, and Andrew Sprague. There's your offensive line. The wide receivers, Samaj Morgan, Andrew Marsh, and Donovan McCulley. We expect to see Justice Haynes in the backfield, Hogan Hansen at tight end, and the quarterback Bryce Underwood on the season. 59.7% of his passes have been completed for 1,210 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So we got Andrew Marsh standing on the goal line on the far side. He'll field the kickoff from Grady Gross to get this one underway here in Ann Arbor. Gross approaches the football, and the kick is returnable if Andrew wants to bring it out, and he decides not to, and Michigan will take over on the 25-yard line. So we'll set the Washington defense. Couple guys keep an eye on. Jacob Manu, a linebacker. If he plays, he's dealing with a redshirt situation. Alex McLaughlin, their safety, outstanding playmaker. He's their dog back there. 2 6'4" safeties in Ephesians Prysock and Takarion Davis. They will give Michigan's receivers problems with their size today, but here we go as Michigan leaves the sideline offensively in their traditional blue uniforms with the maize pants and the winged helmet. Washington in all whites with their gold helmets and the W on the side. Wolverines will be moving right to left as Bryce Underwood is in a shotgun. And in the backfield, indeed, it is Justice Haynes. And the first pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. It was Jordan Marshall actually getting the start for the Wolverines. Incomplete. It'll be second down.
Yeah, trying to get the ball in and out of Bryce's hands quick, trying to get an easy pass there, just overthrown. And, hey, you live to play another down.
2nd and 10 for Michigan on this opening series. Bunch formation to the left. Now they put Marsh in motion from right to left, bring him back the other direction, and they hand it off to Jordan Marshall running right. There's not much room. He gets maybe a yard. It'll set up a 3rd down and long in this first possession.
Yeah, and that's where Michigan has struggled early in drives, early in games, is you really need to be able to find a way to get more yardage on first down. Obviously, an incomplete pass gets you 0, and then you run the ball for a yard. Now you're sitting there looking at 3rd and 9. It's not a great position to be in here to start the game.
Neither of these teams have been fast starters. Michigan, specifically defensively. Washington has fallen behind 20-0 and 10-0 their last 2 weeks. They won both games. So here we go on this 3rd down and 9. Underwood in a shotgun. Off his right hip is Jordan Marshall. Takes the snap. Looking, he's got time, fires over the middle, and it's caught, but short of the sticks and dropped at the 31 is Hogan Hansen. Check that, it was Deacon Tonelli in there. Wow.
Yeah, I felt like if Bryce, it wasn't rushed on that, the protection was good. If he just takes a little bit longer, he had Zach Marshall coming over the top, right over the top of where Deacon Tonelli was, and might have been able to pick up. He definitely had first down yardage, so check that one down, probably a little quicker than he needed to throw it.
First career catch for Deacon Tonelli. Standing on his own 31-yard line is Denzel Boston to field his punt from Hudson Hollenbeck, and it's returnable. He catches it the 36, spins out of one tackle, and gets drilled right there as Troy Bowles is making an impact on special teams with a stop, and they'll mark the ball at the 36-yard line, and that's where we will see the very dangerous Damon Williams for the first time today. Jonah Coleman is key guy in the backfield. Watch out for the aforementioned Denzel Boston. Michigan's defense up front. You got Rayshawn Benny, Damon Payne, Trey Pearson, Derek Moore, Jason Barham, and Ernest Hausman. We'll see where they line up Barham today. They look like they're going to have him at an edge spot to start this game. Jimmy Roller at the linebacker spot. Jair Hill, Brandon Hillman, Rod Moore, and Zeke Berry is your secondary, though they're going to go with Jaden Mangum on this first snap from scrimmage, as he is in at the safety spot. 5 defensive backs on the field. Williams will open in a shotgun from his own 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Huskies, their first possession. They'll hand it off to Coleman up the middle, and he's drilled by Ernest Hausman in the hole, giving maybe a yard and a half. Wolverines' leading tackler taking down Jonah Coleman. It's been tough sledding between the tackles for the Huskies of late.
And I like what I've seen from that defensive line. Big plays happened last week because guys were taking edges. They've got to be able to take on those blockers, even if it's double teams. You've got to rely on, whether it's Ernie, Jimmy, Jay Sean, whoever that linebacker position. This time it was Ernie to come up and make that tackle.
2nd down and 8 for Damon Williams, who's in a shotgun here for the Huskies. The ball just shy of Washington's own 40. Back to pass as Williams quickly delivers in the flat. He's got his tight end, and he's drilled immediately and dropped right there by Zeke Berry. Coming up from his corner spot. Tucker DeGraff on the reception.
Great reaction by Zeke. And, an 8-yard cushion, but the reaction to be able to come up and make that tackle right away.
Washington going quickly on this 3rd down and 5. From their own 43, back to pass is Williams looking downfield, steps up in the pocket, bails out of there. He's got some room to run. Can he get to the sticks? He can, and he steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Move the chains for the Huskies here.
Yeah, that's the really challenging part about playing against Damon Williams is when nothing's there and there's a breakdown in the rush lanes, you let him out of the pocket. It's really hard to stop him, especially when it's only about 5 or 6 yards. He's so quick to make that decision and pick up the first down.
1st and 10 for the Huskies from their own 49-yard line. Michigan showing a 4-man front. Just underway and scoreless here in Ann Arbor. Damon Williams in a shotgun takes the snap. Hands it off to Jonah Coleman. He's got a little room running right into Michigan territory and down to the 46-yard line, where he is taken down by T.J. Metcalf up from his safety spot. Gain of 4.
You're going to have run support from the secondary. You're going to have it from the corners. You can't shy away from those hits. And when you make that read that it's a run, just like I talked about Zeke Berry being able to come up and make that reaction, make that tackle, you're going to have it from the secondary as well.
2nd down and 6. Williams back to pass. Sets up a screen to his tight end. He's got some room across the 40 down to the Michigan 38-yard line. It's DeGraff again. Jimmy Roller on the stop. Move the chains as Washington is moving into the scoring zone here in Ann Arbor. Early first quarter.
As a party, that right tackle was able to get up on Jimmy Roller, and just that little bump on him created the first down.
Williams takes the snap, hands it off to Coleman, surveys the Michigan defense, cuts it back to his left across the 35 down to the 34-yard line, a gain of 3 on first down.
Little counter action by Washington. They pulled that left guard. Nice job at the point of attack, and they've got to find a way to close that gap. If Derek Moore can just close that gap on the backside.
And Washington going quickly, snaps the ball, but we get a flag. Were they not set? Do we have a legal procedure?
Full starts. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Garen Hatchett, transfer from Oklahoma, playing on this line with his brother Landon Hatchett, the center.
And we'll see how aggressive Wink's going to be here. Now you start to get him at 2nd and 12. You want to be aggressive against Damon Williams, make him make a quick decision, but you got to be careful not to let him out of that pocket.
As John mentioned, 2nd down and 12 here for the Huskies. The Michigan at 39-yard line. Williams takes the snap, back to pass, fires far side. And it's incomplete.
Come on, Shug.
Should have been picked off by Jair Hill, and quite frankly, that should be 6. He threw that well behind his intended receiver, Boston, and Jair had a catch-and-run touchdown. I mean, nothing but green turf in front of him.
Jason, that's why they play defense, right?
Exactly. That's why they're on defense. But I will say this, the last third down, Barham had a chance to cage rush Damon Williams. You can't get past the quarterback at defensive end.
Yep.
Williams back to pass on this 3rd and 12. Fires near side, and it is broken up. Zeke Berry got in there and give him the pass breakup right near the sticks. Intended for Desmond Roebuck, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and we'll see what Jed Fish decides to do.
Great job by Zeke dropping into his coverage and then being able to come up and make that play right when the ball gets there. Great timing, great break on the ball. Zeke is seeing everything right now extremely well.
It'll be a 56-yard field goal attempt, but looks like Coach Fish has opted to punt as they're going to send Luke Dunn out there. He's only punted 9 times all year. And he'll roll to his right and go for the coffin corner. Samaj Morgan back deep for Michigan. This ball will bounce and into the end zone. And Michigan will get the touchback and take over on the 20. So the defense gets a stop. Wolverines will get the football back. 10-13 to go first quarter, and scoreless in Ann Arbor. Michigan football from Learfield.
Why are potatoes on my head?
Sebastian Maniscalco. 2 shows, Friday, November 21st at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
I had dry hands 3 months ago. Now I got no fingers.
Tickets for the 7 and 10 p.m. shows start at $72 and are on sale now at the box office or online at etix.com.
If I'm not talking or smiling, it looks like I could murder your entire family.
Sebastian Maniscalco. The It Ain't Right Tour, November 21st at Soaring Eagle Casino. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go, go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
He's got the speed. He's got room. He's going to score.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM College Sports Radio.
For the win. Got it! Let's go!
Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go.
Deep to center field. Oh, it's gone!
Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Hey, Meier's the presenting sponsor of the 2025 Michigan football season and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Doug Karst, John Jansen, Jason Avant down on the field, Rob Joyce in our studios. Anchoring our coverage today is Brian Bush, and of course we've got Jack Miller. Our engineer is Tony Butler. We've got Bruce Motti on stats. Rich Marion is our spotter today. Michigan and Washington, they exchange punts. Michigan has the football on their own 20-yard line. Their second possession after going 3 and out. As Bryce Underwood will leave the sideline with the offense, and being a shotgun here with Jordan Marshall still in the backfield, we await word on Justice Haynes, see if he will give it a go today. Dealing with an injury and went through warm-ups, fully padded. We'll see if he is available. First play from scrimmage here as Bryce claps his hands and hand it off to Marshall running left. And he's got some room across the 25 out near the 30-yard line. There you go. Good blocking up front. Jordan Marshall finding a hole for 8. Exree Alexander on the stop.
Yeah, where Max Bredesen goes, generally the ball goes right there with him. He goes in motion, comes across, and they pull Jake Warnera and do a nice job of running that counter and blocking right up inside.
They go empty set with 4 receivers split wide right. Now they're going to put in motion Marsh from right to left. Empty backfield here for Bryce Underwood on 2nd down and 2. Quickly delivers on a slant. He's got his man at the 35-yard line. Samaj Morgan, a gain of 7, moved the chains for Michigan.
And when you go 5 wide like that and they're going to blitz that extra guy off the edge, you know Bryce is going to have to get rid of that ball. And that was Jacob Manu, so apparently they're going to be playing him. They brought him right off the edge, and he's going to take a hit. Great job standing in there and getting rid of the ball.
From the 35, 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. 3 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Underwood takes the snap. Will hand it off to Marshall running left. And not much room. He bounces off 1 tackle, tries to get going. Scampers and gets what he can. Actually gets about 3 yards out of it, John. Not much there, but he squeezed out of it what he could. Exree Alexander on the stop.
Not a lot at the point of attack. Not getting any movement up front on that left side, but Jordan Marshall he's not going to be a guy that they're going to take down easily. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage, ends up bouncing it outside, fighting, scratching and clawing for 3 yards.
2nd down and 7 for the Wolverines. McCulley and Marshall split out wide right. 2 tight ends in the ball game. Pistol formation with Marshall deep behind Bryce Underwood. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Back to pass is Bryce. Looking, fires to Marshall out of the backfield. He's got it. Across the 40, beats his man to the corner, turns upfield, gets the 1st down, and steps out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Move the chains for the Wolverines, a gain of 9.
Hey, if it takes 6 offensive linemen to protect, it's going to take 6. They had Blake Frazier in there as one of the tight ends and does a nice job of holding things off. They bottle everything up. They kept Max Bredis in it as well. So in essence, you got yourself a 7-man protection, just enough time for Bryce to be able to find Jordan in the flat.
That was a good decision by Bryce there. They had a high 77 concept that takes long to develop. Wasn't there, so he went to the flat right away.
I'm going to go back and find out what high 77 concept is. Time allows here at
be
this
back in college on a Saturday night.
1st and 10. And they go reverse to Donovan McCulley. Coming to the near side across the 50 into Washington territory and down to the 42-yard line. Another 1st down for Michigan. Ryland Dillard Allen on the stop as Michigan goes a little trick play on the reverse and Donovan McCulley moves the chains.
Well, and here's what's nice about this is they're using different guys at different positions. So right now Washington's they're doing a number count. Hey, where is 1? Where is 0? Where are all these guys lining up? And Michigan gets to the ball quickly. They run a play, and Washington's not really sure what's coming at them.
Underwood in a shotgun, takes the snap. Play action's going to roll out to his right, looking downfield. Pump fakes, gets away from the defender. There's a flag down. He throws it away. Incomplete, but we wait to see what this flag is. Andrew Marsh coming open late.
Might be a hands to the face on the defense.
Yeah, that's what Jake Guinera is indicating.
Holding. Offense. Number 44. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Oh, we were wrong.
Yep. And obviously it's Max Bredesen. I'm not sure what he did out in the middle. I didn't see it, but here's what I like about what Bryce did there. And we talk about not making the same mistake twice. He's rolling out just to be able to get rid of the ball and making sure that he doesn't take a sack, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, throws the ball out of bounds, which you can do once you're outside that tackle box.
Last week, Michigan couldn't overcome negative plays. They're looking at a 1st and 20 here from their own 48-yard line. 3 receivers split wide right. 1 to the left. Underwood takes the snap. Back to pass. Setting up a screen to Jordan Marshall across the 50 back into Washington territory. And he's banged out of bounds right in front of the Michigan bench at the 48-yard line.
I think the best thing that Bryce does right now is when he's throwing that ball to Samaj in the flat or to Jordan Marshall or any of the backs, he does such a nice job of putting that ball in front of them so they can catch and run. They don't have to try and turn back. He put that ball right in front of Jordan Marshall so he could get maximum amount of yardage.
4 yards there, 2nd down and 16. 2 receivers split to either side, ball on the left hash. Underwood's got Marshall in the backfield. Claps his hands. Washington brings a blitz. Underwood steps up, fires down the middle, and it's caught at the 25 and dropped. Is it incomplete or is it a fumble? They're saying incomplete. Oh, boy. Was that Deacon Tonelli?
Yeah.
He had it down the seam, inside the red zone or close to the red zone, and couldn't hang on.
What a beautiful pass by Bryce Underwood. I mean, he put that ball right where it had to be. And Deacon Tonelli getting some opportunity here with some injuries. He's going to have to come up with that catch.
And Jacob Manu was the man that dislodged it. He got there right after the ball did. Give him credit on that play. Tonelli probably wants that one back. It's 3rd down and 16 for Michigan from the Washington 48-yard line. Underwood takes the snap. Back to pass. Over the middle. He's got his tight end. That is Zach Marshall, and he dives forward close to the first down. Looks like a half a yard shy.
Got to go for it.
You have to. And we got an injured Wolverine, and it's Evan Link. Oh, boy. He's holding his left knee. 15 yards on the reception with Zach Marshall. Injury concern for Michigan right there as Evan Link, starting left tackle, is on the ground holding his left knee. It'll be 4th and 1. We'll take a timeout here at the Big House. Scoreless, 6:08 to go, first quarter. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Honey, did you pay the rent this month? Because I just received a late notice.
Sorry, what's that?
Wait, are you gambling online again?
Me? No, not at all.
If managing the bills and your betting has become a challenge, self-excluding from online gambling or sports betting might be for you. Learn more at don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Have a gambling problem? Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Lobs it up in the end zone, a Roundtree. He adjusts to the ball. He's interfered with. He makes the catch.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor, official partner of Michigan Athletics. Whether you're tailgating or headed to the Big House, Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor has the perfect vehicle for every fan. New or pre-owned, our team has a large inventory of vehicles ready for you today. And a special offer for Wolverine fans, receive a $1,000 discount and 3 years of maintenance on any new Lexus purchase when you mention this ad. Stop by Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor or get started at LexusofAnnArbor.com.
3 nights, 3 unforgettable experiences, only at Motor City Casino Soundboard. Feel the rush at Night of Knockouts October 24th. Catch the Whispers perform their timeless R&B hits October 26th. Close out the month with a night of laughs with Little Rel Howery October 29th. It's all happening here at Motor City Casino Soundboard. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com today.
Michigan football sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Whole health includes body and mind, and Blue Cross covers it all. From mental health resources to exercise routines, Blue Cross is ready to help. Learn more at bcbsm.com. Well, this is not good news, as Evan Link is still down on the field. And John...
yeah, they're getting the wagon out for him, and he's up. They're going to get him on the stretcher, put him on the cart, take him up the tunnel, and Michigan team gathers around him.
We got to like this. The whole team is going out to show their support for Evan Link, the junior left tackle out of Burke, Virginia. Started last year at right tackle, moved over to left this year, and this means Blake Frazier's going to have to step up. Now, we know Blake, you've known Blake for a long time, as his father, Steve, was a teammate of yours on the national championship team. I've gotten to know Steve over the year, great guy. And it's now his kid's turn.
Yeah, and I'm sure Mama Frazier is probably sitting there going, "Oh boy, here we go." And you know, you never know when your opportunity is going to come up. We've talked about him as going in there as that extra tight end. I just mentioned him just a minute ago as the extra protector. Now all of a sudden, hey, you're thrust into a role where you're going to have an impact, and you got to step up. And I've seen him at practice. He's ready to do it. Now he just has to go perform.
Evan Link getting a long hug from his roommate, Nathan Afobe. Nathan Afobe and Jake Guerra share an apartment in Ann Arbor, and Afobe with a long hug of Evan Link as they load him onto the cart.
I always hate to say it. Evan's such a good kid.
Yep.
And we saw him at right tackle last year, earned that spot, and they moved him over in the bowl game. He's been the starting left tackle since the start of the season. But Michigan's going to have to find a way to move on. And what it does is not only it puts Blake in position to be that left tackle, it takes away some of what their game plan was. Are they going to bring in another guy now? And maybe it's Afobe, maybe it's any number of guys that can come in there to be that extra blocker if they go extra offensive lineman in that tight end position.
Shouldn't forget that Michigan is going without Andrew Babaloa, who might have been the starter on this team as a true freshman, a 5-star recruit. As the offense takes the field on what is a 4th down and 1. 6:08 to go, first quarter. 4th and 1 for Michigan from the Washington 33-yard line. The time to come in there for Blake Frazier on a critical play in this Michigan drive in a scoreless game. Here we go, 4th and 1. Underwood in a shotgun. 2 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Claps his hands. Takes the snap. Back to pass. Going to deliver to Samaj, and it's off his chest, and he dropped it. John, first that might have been a touchdown.
Yeah, it hit him
but
right.
it had to be a first down.
It was. I mean, it's a tough catch because he's turned around, running the opposite way, but turning around, looking at the quarterback. But that ball hit him right in the middle of the zero. If that was a bullseye, Bryce threw it and hit a bullseye.
That's the second drop pass here in Ann Arbor. And this one on this same drive, both of them costing Michigan. Scoreless, Wolverines turn it over on downs. Washington takes over on their 33. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, exclusive freight partner of Michigan Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Here's Charles Woodson, Michigan legend.
As a young man, I gave my all to the Wolverines, making history, earning a Heisman Trophy, and now I'm back. Introducing Woodson Whiskey, the first spirit sponsor in school history, crafted with the same passion and excellence that defined my career. Woodson Bourbon Whiskey, where legacy meets excellence. Go blue and go Woodson Whiskey. Cheers, and please drink responsibly.
Hey Wolverines, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health. Score a limited edition home field design Michigan t-shirt. And most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan in the lead. That's bigten.org/Abbott.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com for Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Wolverines are back at Michigan Stadium, taking on the Washington Huskies. And today's game is presented by the leaders and best at Michigan medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. To find your Michigan answer, visit michigananswers.com.
Michigan fans, choose chill and celebrate responsibly. 21 means 21. Coors Light, choose chill. 2025, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado beer. Well, John, coaches always say, players always say, games come down to 4 or 5 plays.
Yeah.
There have been 3 plays in this game that could have been big for Michigan. A drop pick 6 interception, a drop catch into the edge of the red zone, and now a drop 4th down pass.
Yeah, and you can't, against a team like this with an explosive offense, you got to take advantage of every opportunity to put points on the board. And, I mean, we're literally looking at what should have been 7 points on the dropped interception, and possibly, at worst, maybe 10 points because you get a field goal out of it. Could be up 2 touchdowns, yet it's still 0-0. So these missed opportunities, they're costly.
And the plays are there. You have to make them. 1st and 10 for Washington from their own 33. They're going to roll Damon Williams out to the right. He's going to take a shot deep downfield. It's Boston. He goes up and gets it between a pair of Wolverines and comes to the ground at the Michigan 19-yard line. 2 players were there. Boston adjusted to the football, and it looks like Michigan's DBs overran it a bit. 1st down Washington in the red zone.
Well, Zeke Berry's coming in support from the other side. Mason Curtis kind of fell towards fell for a fake, but Zeke was there, just ran past the ball.
Handoff to Jonah Coleman, running right. The Wolverines defense clogs it up, and a flag flies in. 2 flags fly in. He gets a yard, maybe 2, as we await this call from our lead official, Jason Nickleby.
Just a note there that Rod Moore or Brandon Hillman hadn't started this game at all. So you got young secondary back there.
There is no foul for the block being worse. The block was deemed legal.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you could throw that into the missed opportunity as well, whether it's a batted ball, possible interception. But I think Zeke just simply couldn't find the ball, could read the receiver's eyes that ball was headed their way, but he turned around and just couldn't simply find the ball.
2nd down and 8 for Washington from the Michigan 18-yard line. Empty backfield here for Damon Williams. 3 receivers split wide to the right, to the left. Williams, quick pass, wide receiver screen, gets it out there. Wolverines are swarming, and they're going to swarm under the receiver, Raiden Vines-Bright, for no gain, maybe a loss of a yard. Dominic Nichols, one of the first out there to make the stop. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Huskies.
Anytime you have those wide receiver screens, you need corners, you need defensive backs that are going to be able to step up, take on blocks. Shug did a great job of forcing that ball back inside to where the rest of the defense is pursuing from. He doesn't make that play, doesn't take that outside leverage, and you might be looking at a touchdown for Washington.
3rd down and 9 now for Washington from the Michigan 19-yard line. We're scoreless with 4.5 to go here first quarter. Williams in a shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, looking to his left, going to deliver into the end zone, incomplete as he overthrows his intended receiver in the left corner of the end zone. TJ Metcalf in coverage, stride for stride, and incomplete, and that'll be a field goal attempt.
Little contact at about the 5-yard line with TJ, inadvertent contact, but the thing is he looks back towards the ball, and that contact might have actually been generated by the wide receiver, but nice job of being in phase with them and forcing that incompletion.
Grady Gross, 6 for 7 on the year. He missed from 39 last week against Rutgers. This from the left hash will be a 36-yard attempt. Snap is clean. Hold is clean. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. He misses it wide right, and the Wolverines defense comes away unscathed. Back-to-back weeks and back-to-back misses for Grady Gross. And Michigan will get the football back as we stay scoreless here in Ann Arbor with 4:20 to go, first quarter.
Honestly, no team wants to take control of this game early on. Both have had opportunities. You get a big play downfield, and you can't capitalize on it. And you come away with no points. Washington has done their job for Michigan in regards to inviting them into this game and making sure it stays 0-0, as Michigan has done with Washington on the same side.
Got a little bit of a pause in the action, so we'll take this opportunity to learn a little bit about the wide receiver position. We are going to break. Okay, we will take a break with them. We are scoreless in Ann Arbor with 4:20 to go, first quarter. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Rob Joyce with you in the network studios with a quick check of the out-of-town scoreboard. 7 other Big Ten games today. Ours is the only one in the noon window. Everything else begins later on, starting at 3 o'clock at Evanston. Northwestern takes on Purdue. 3:30, the Big Ten leaders take on the conference basement dwellers. Indiana hosts Michigan State. Ohio State heads to Wisconsin. Hoosiers and Buckeyes, the only teams without a loss. Spartans and Badgers among 5 without a Big Ten victory. Rutgers among that list as well. Scarlet Knights at home against Oregon. 6:30, 7 o'clock. Reeling Penn State interim head coach Terry Smith try to snap their 3-game losing streak at Iowa. UCLA seeks a 3rd straight victory tonight at home, meeting Maryland. Tonight in the league rounds out 7:30 South Bend USC, a non-conference clash with Notre Dame nationally. A couple of games going on right now. Top 20 clash in the SEC. Number 17 Vandy, a 7-3 edge on 10th ranked LSU late in the first in Nashville. And number 12 Georgia Tech, an early 7-0 lead on Duke late in the first in Durham. Ranked on ranked still to come. Georgia Ole Miss 3:30, Alabama Tennessee 7:30, and then the Holy War at 8 between BYU and Utah. That's your check of scores. We'll run through the entire day in college football, get to the highlights of our game, and get halftime highlights all on the halftime show driven by Jermaine Alexis of Ann Arbor. Guys.
Sorry, Rob, didn't give you the proper introduction. My apologies to Rob Joyce back in our studio. Red Cap guy had some confusion down below, and it led to confusion up here in the booth. All right, let's learn about the high 77 concept, Jason?
Yeah, high 77 concept is a 2-man concept. One receiver goes high. We call in NFL and college a 7 route is a corner route.
Okay.
So he goes high to the back sideline, and then the guy that's low, he takes his a little bit lower. You're trying to take the third corner away and make it a one-on-one with their center field safety down the field deep. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a one-on-one with the free safety in the middle of the field, going toward the corner.
It takes a long time for that to develop too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes a long time, and Bryce recognized that it was going to take too long or the coverage was bad, and you dump it off to the flat route, and that's the safety blanket.
All right, good to know. There'll be a quiz after the game for those of you out there listening.
Yeah, so 2 corner outs, 1 high, 1 low.
There you go.
Yeah, and then there's 2 options, my answer versus his answer.
Oh, I wanted to say what Zeke Berry tried to play the ball like a receiver. He turned his body. Receivers are going to locate the ball better than defensive back. You just look at the receiver the whole time and play through his hands.
There you go. Well, the Wolverines remain scoreless here with Washington. Late first quarter from the 20, 1st and 10 following the missed field goal. Underwood, play action, back to pass, delivers underneath. He's got Tonelli, puts his head down and gets out to close to the 25. Deacon Tonelli, who's made his first career catch earlier in this quarter, and now another catch. Ephesians Prysock on the stop, gain of 5.
And a nice job watching, obviously, the new tackle there. Left tackle doing a great job with his punch, rebalancing, which protection has been good for this Michigan offensive line here in the first quarter against Washington, which has allowed Bryce to be able to sit back there and get comfortable and deliver the ball.
Jordan Marshall in the backfield. Pistol formation behind Bryce Underwood. Heavy set now as they motion Max Bredesen into a fullback offset right. Snap, handoff to Marshall, running right, and he's fighting out close to the first down, and he lunges at the end, and I think he got it across the 30. Devin Bryant on the stop, a gain of 5 for Jordan Marshall. And indeed, a first down for the Wolverines.
Jordan Marshall, he's one of those running backs that just seems to always fall forward. And the difference between Jordan and Justice has that top-end speed. He likes to bounce the ball a little bit. And Jordan is more of the hammer, and we're starting to watch some of that hammer today.
Wolverines will send 4 wide to the left. Marshall in the backfield. Now they'll shift Tonelli back in and also put Samaj Morgan in the backfield. Snap. Handoff to Marshall, running left. He tries to jump over a defender and does across the 35 out to the 38-yard line. Jordan Marshall with a gain of 8 there. Takarian Davis on the stop for the Huskies. Good run.
Yeah, it was a good run. Another counter action, and nice job by Jordan of feeling things out. You could start to see his confidence start to grow. Not that he didn't have it before, but every time you get into a rhythm and you get more carries and more carries, you start to get a better feel of how the defense is going to play him.
2nd down and 3. Feels like a good time to take a shot downfield, huh?
Yeah, down at distance favors that.
From their own 37-yard line, Underwood takes the snap. Back to pass. Going to fire it out of the backfield. Jordan Marshall across the 40. He's got the first down and powers his way out to the 44-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds. A gain of 7. Alex McLaughlin on the stop. Moved the chains for the Wolverines.
It's another one of those plays just out in the flat. That ball's laid out right in front of him. And Bryce it looks like he's so comfortable in the pocket right now. It's just a little flip out to him. Effortless, but it's right on the money.
Well, if we were wondering if Justice Haynes is going to play, Jasper Parker, the freshman tailback, just checked in for Michigan. On this 1st and 10 from their own 44. It'll be Parker, and play action. And it's McCulley on a slant, caught from Underwood, and he's dropped at the 41 of the Huskies. Another Michigan first down. Mikkel Easton on the stop. A gain of 15 for Michigan, who quickly goes to the line of scrimmage from the 41 of the Huskies. Underwood takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. Fires. He's got Zach Marshall, 40, 35. Zach Marshall, 30, 25. Out there blocking his Channing Stribling, and Marshall is taken down at the Husky 22-yard line. Another Michigan first down.
A nice job by Jasper Parker coming in, first couple of reps in the backfield, meaningful reps, and does a great job with the ball handling skill, sells the run, draws those linebackers up, and then Bryce is able to pick apart the defense. And love to be able to see Zach Marshall in the open field. We'll take a first down any chance we get.
19 yards, Michigan from the Washington 22-yard line. Scoreless here, 44 seconds to go, first quarter. 1st and 10, Michigan. Underwood takes the snap. Back to pass. They set up a screen. They got it to Andrew Marsh. Across the 15 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Wolverines. Beautiful play call against a blitz. Chip Lindsey, you dial one up right there. And the Wolverines take a 6-0 lead.
John, that was the middle screen from USC. They just basically hijacked their play.
Yeah, hey, if it works for them, like, why not make it work for us? And I'm with you. Great job by the offensive linemen of selling the pass rush, making it look like, hey, we just got beat, couldn't possibly do that. Now all of a sudden they leak into the secondary and they set up blocks, and you give that much space to Andrew Marsh, and boy, he's just going to be gone, which he was.
Greg Charr will snap it. Hudson Holenbeck will place it down for Dominic Zavada for the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. A 22-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Underwood to Andrew Marsh gives Michigan a 7-0 lead. That Wolverine touchdown brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. 7 plays, 80 yards, over 3 minutes and 47 seconds. How about this Marsh kid, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he has really come on, and we're going to see more and more. I mean, 8 catches last week. What was it, 6 against Wisconsin? And now he comes back with another touchdown here in the first quarter. It was a well-designed play. And I'll tell you what, Greg Crippen, Jake Warnera, 20 yards downfield throwing blocks. That's great hustle, and it's just a great – honestly, that drive right there is one of the best that we've seen from Chip Lindsey. With the ball handling skills in the backfield, being able to get the ball in and out of the quarterback's hands quickly, they should have a lot of confidence coming out of that drive. And it opens up so much more for this offense to do now.
I like to say Bryce Underwood is balling. Starting out this game focused, putting the ball where it should be. He is coming out to play today.
Yeah, and think about it. He's 10 of 13 right now.
3 drops.
And yeah, well, the first play of the game wasn't a drop, but you had 2 drops in there that he should be at 12 of 13.
Beckham Sunderland will kick it off, and the Huskies will take the touchback as it sails 5 yards deep into the end zone. Jason, I know you love seeing wide receivers make plays. Does this Andrew Marsh kid remind you of anybody?
Well, you know, I don't know if we've had one with his skill set, because usually we have bigger guys or smaller guys. He's that middle guy, but he's definitely a pro body type with his skill set. So he definitely has pro talent. It's just going to take him getting like the nuance, the fine-tuning of playing receiver. Once he gets all of that down, the sky's the limit for this kid. They need to feature him a lot more than they do.
Touchdown receptions in back-to-back weeks. He took a reverse to the end zone earlier in the year. His 3rd touchdown of his Michigan career, and I think, Jason, you're going to get your way. I think you're going to feature him a lot. 1st and 10 for the Huskies from the 25. Here comes the blitz. Williams bails out of there, as he's known to do. Fires underneath. He's got Jonah Coleman at the 30, and he's knocked out of bounds in front of the Michigan bench at the 30-yard line, and Williams gets what he can there. Gain of 5 on 1st down.
Jaden Sanders is in coverage over on that side, does a nice job of taking away the streaker down the sidelines, and then a nice job of recognizing, hey, that ball's been thrown, I'm going to come up and make a play.
Caleb Anderson's in the game for the Wolverines defensively. Those young defensive backs, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 1. Michigan has fought through some mistakes here at the Big House, and they lead it 7-0 after 15 minutes of play here in Ann Arbor. Second quarter action straight ahead. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check Kirk Herbstreit's pregame analysis first, before talking to your brother-in-law.
In this game, the key thing to watch will be the offensive line versus their front seven. If they can get pressure without blitzing, this could be a long night.
Okay, Kirk.
I know stuff.
Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Today's game is brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Why pay more for gels when Barbasol delivers an instant thick lather for a close, comfortable shave? Choose Barbasol, a quality shave and trusted value. This is the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, when you're out of town and you want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the free Varsity Network app, available on both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app, and this is where we invite all of you out there listening on the app across the country and around the globe to tweet us at MGoBlueRadio, on Twitter. Send us, let us know where you are listening from.
You know, everybody wants to say that Chip needs to open up the offense, and we'd love to see more plays downfield, but when the last part of that drive, you've got a pass complete to Jordan Marshall coming out of the backfield for 7 yards, and then you hit Donovan McCulley on that slant for 15. You follow it up with Zach Marshall for 19, and then the wide receiver screen in the middle there that ended up being a touchdown to Andrew Marsh. Like those are 4 dynamic plays, and it's all because, and Jason mentioned this, Bryce is dealing right now. He is really throwing the ball well. He's throwing the ball accurately. It only has 3 incompletions, and 2 of those were drops. So, yeah, it looks good for this Michigan offense. If Bryce is going to play like this could be really exciting.
Yeah, Bryce has only struggled when teams throw a lot of pressure on him. Our offensive line can't hold up front. And in this game, thus far, the offensive line has done a good job of giving him protection, and he's been able to get the ball out of his hand. And that's when he thrives. But any freshman quarterback, if you give him a lot of pressure like Oklahoma and USC, is going to struggle a little bit. And I don't necessarily equate that to the offense not being opened up, just more so that he has growing pains as a freshman.
Yep.
A couple of notes here. Through the first quarter, not playing for the Michigan offense, Justice Haynes or Hogan Hansen. We're told that Marlon Klein was out of this game, and that's why we've seen Zach Marshall and Deacon Tonelli. Defensively, no Rod Moore or Brandon Hillman yet.
Nope. Yeah. And you're down Evan Lake as well on offense.
Yeah, injured Michigan's second possession of the game. 2nd and 5 for the Huskies in this first play of the second quarter. They're going to go quarterback keeper with Damon Williams, and he's going to get dragged down 5 yards in the backfield by Ernest Hausman. What a play against the slippery quarterback. It'll set up 3rd and long.
That's a great open field tackle. That is not easy to do, especially with an athlete like Damon Williams. The fact that he was able to grab a hold on and ride him down, that's a big play for this defense.
That play went for 50 last week against the Rutgers, the same exact play.
Yeah. He was electric last week. 3rd and 10, Williams back to pass. Michigan brings a blitz, and they dump it underneath to Jonah Coleman, who's got running room. 30, 35, 40, across the 50 and into Michigan territory, and chased out of bounds as he runs all the way across the field from left to right at the Michigan 48-yard line. Good play call against the blitz there.
It was, and you're in man coverage on him, and you get caught up in the wash there, and it was the young fella that just wasn't able to keep up with him, Cole Sullivan. And once he gets into the open field, there's no help there at all, and it's just a matter of running away from the man coverage.
1st and 10, Washington from the Michigan 48. They have been in Michigan territory each of their first 2 drives. They have been held scoreless so far. 7-0 Michigan. Handoff to the backup running back. That is Muhammad, and he's got some running room to the right side. And down to the Michigan 43-yard line where Ernest Hausman brings him down. Good gain on 1st down of 6.
And those 3rd downs have really been the bane of Michigan's defense existence. Last week it was a 3rd and 25 that went for 45. This was a 3rd and 10 after a great play by Ernest Hausman. And you've got to find you've done all the hard work. You got to find a way to get off the field when it's 3rd and long.
2nd down, and we'll call it 4 for the Huskies from the 42-yard line of the Wolverines. Williams takes the snap. And he's going to roll out to his left and turn the corner and get chased to the sticks and steps out of bounds with the first down at the Michigan 38-yard line. Caleb Anderson gets credited with the stop. Indeed, it is a first down for the Huskies. They move the chains.
Well, nice job by Caleb Anderson. And just making sure DeMond Williams knows that he's there, but not hitting him as he goes out of bounds. That's just a tremendous athlete there making a play. Boy, he's a dynamic quarterback.
He's had 2 big plays through the air, the one to Boston and then they pass underneath to Coleman, which was a lot of yards after catch. He'll take a snap, flags fly, and I think we're going to get another legal motion on the Huskies, and that'll only make 110,000 people feel like they're more a part of it.
Yep. And, I mean, Washington has done enough to...
Full start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They've really stunted their opportunity to make scoring plays. They got down in the red zone, and it was, a procedure penalty. And now this here, as they cross the 50-yard line, Michigan's got to take advantage of these down and distances. 1st and 15. Find a way to minimize the yardage on this one. Now he's starting to be aggressive on 2nd down.
You see the true freshman Nate Marshall in at the left edge rusher spot here. 1st and 15, back to pass is Williams. He's got time. Now he runs out of time, but bails out of there towards the Michigan sideline, creating some space, and then throws it away as he had no one downfield. Incomplete. Cameron Brandt was the first to flush him out of there.
Cameron Brandt with the bull rush on the left tackle, and then transition to come inside. And when you come inside like that, obviously if you're the contained rusher, you've got to be careful because he gets outside the pocket, and there's a lot of green grass out there. Great pursuit by this Michigan defense. Enoeta is the one that covered up the vacated spot there by Cam Brandt.
2nd down and 15 for the Huskies. They trail it 7-0 here in Ann Arbor. From the 43-yard line of Michigan. Ball on the left hash as Williams takes the snap. Back to pass. He's got all day. Fires over the middle, complete to Muhammad, who gets undercut right there, just missiled by Jimmy Rolder. And Muhammad goes down with a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, Michigan's got to find a way to win up front. They're not winning any one-on-one matchups. This offensive line is dominating on the pass pro. Now they've done the hard work. You're 3rd and 9 again. Got to find a way to get a stop.
Wow, they've got Derek Moore and Jayshawn Barham lined up on the same side on this 3rd and 9. Williams back to pass, and we get another flag. And if this is going to be another false start, it's only going to get louder here at the Big House.
Full start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Drew has a party. Is the guilty party. And here we go. Listen to the fans getting into it.
And some of it is that offensive line trying to communicate. You made a great point. Derek Moore, Jayshawn Barham on the same side. They're trying to identify where guys are, who are the rushers, who's going to be dropping out, and some of that communication. There's a hangover effect, and you can get some of those offsides penalties. Those are legal procedures.
7-0 Michigan, 11:25 to go first half. Washington with a 3rd and 14 from the Michigan 42-yard line. Wolverines with 3 edge rushers in now with TJ Guy back to pass. They set up a screen to Muhammad. He's got nowhere to go. Is Jayshawn Barham the first there? Will wrangle him and drop him for another loss back at the 45-yard line. They went screen pass. Wolverines sniffed it out and learned from last week against SC. It's 4th down.
Jayshawn Barham had that one read from the very beginning. He watched those offensive linemen. He was in the stand-up position right on top of the center, had a great view of what was developing in front of him, and he just undercut all those offensive linemen to make the play in the backfield.
Wow. Again, 3 trips into Michigan territory, and Washington with no points so far as they will punt this one away. It's Dunn to put his right foot into it, and he will sail it over the head of Samaj Morgan. It'll check up at the 6 and roll out of bounds at the 8-yard line on the far sideline, and Michigan will be looking at a lot of field in front of them. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield. $7-0 Michigan here in Ann Arbor. We have an injured player down on the field following the Washington punt. It is one of the Huskies as he is laying on the Michigan side of the field at the 45-yard line. It is Quentin Moore, a tight end. 7-0 Michigan on top. We'll take a break. 10:31 to go first half. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
We asked our team, why did you choose to work for Michigan Medicine? Here are some of their answers.
Being able to interact with patients, offer them hope, and hopefully giving them care that they couldn't receive anywhere else is the biggest thing.
Because it's the best of the best. We have great benefits. We have great leadership.
I love what I do. This is the place where you want to be if you're looking to make change.
To our team, we say, thank you for choosing us. We shape the future of healthcare together at Michigan Medicine.
Experiencing a Wolverines game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the field, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Every day is game with the Michigan Lottery. Choose your favorite way to play with the Detroit Lions Instant Game Fast Cash Pull Tab, an online game with chances to win up to $500,000. Well, this is a scary situation here at the Big House. Quentin Moore down on the field. And Jason, you got a good look. We don't want to speculate, but they were
trying to cut his chin strap off to get to his helmet, his helmet off.
They had to cut his chin strap off. It looks like his neck is still speculative, but doesn't look good at all. You hate to see this on the field. Both teams are out there. Medical staffs are helping. He was grunting, and he does have some movement, but he's struggling, and they're dealing with his neck area.
Okay. Well, in fact, you did see movement. You said.
Yes, he was movement. He was moving, and there was moving his arms. They had him fold his arms, and he could do that.
All right. Good.
So that was good.
It's Quentin Moore, a tight end there for the Huskies, a senior out of Kenmore, Washington, transfer from Independence Community College. His dad actually was a defensive back at Oklahoma State and played in the NFL with Seattle, and we wish nothing but the best for Quentin Moore. This is the second time we've seen the cart on the field today. The first time Michigan losing Evan Link. As they continue to attend to Quentin Moore, we'll take another break. Michigan on top, 7-0 here at the Big House. Wolverines with the football with 10:31 to go in the half. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Attention, Michigan drivers. Are you paying too much for auto insurance? Visit insuringmichigan.com now for a quote in less than 5 minutes that could save you hundreds. Whether you're navigating Ann Arbor's streets or cruising through Traverse City, Pioneer State Mutual has the coverage you need, combined with the personal service of a local agent. Don't wait. Head to insuringmichigan.com and see how much you can save. That's insuringmichigan.com, your go-to for auto insurance in Michigan.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
He's hit and he's dropped, and it is Michigan's ball game. Look at those Wolverines.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
It's time to think forward first. Right now, check out the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend for $359 a month for 36 months, with only $359 cash due at signing. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all buyers will qualify for low-mileage Ford Credit Red Carpet Lease. Payment includes $1,000 RCL cash, $1,000 Open Trade Assist, and $400 AXZD BFG bonus cash. Offers are only valid on Package 200A. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by November 3rd. See dealer for qualifications and details. So take advantage of this great offer and lease a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $359 a month for 36 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Focus Financial Group is the proud wealth management partner of Michigan Athletics. To celebrate, they're inviting retirees and pre-retirees to attend another night out at the Big House on Thursday, November 6th. Visit mgoblue.com/bighouse for more details. Well, they've got the injured Husky Quentin Moore on the cart and have taken him up the tunnel. Class move. Not only the Washington staff, medical staff, the Michigan staff was out there. Jerome Moore was out there, and of course, we wish Quentin Moore nothing but the best. And John, scary moment. They had him on the backboard, had him secured, face mask off. They cut his chin strap off. So
every football's worst fear is that something's going to happen to the head and neck area. You see knees, you see ankles, you see arms, you see all that all the time. But the one that really makes you, it gives you those moments of pause is when you see something like that. So we, thoughts and prayers, and we wish him the best. Hopefully all good news.
Yeah, the good thing is that he was able to move his arms and he was showing some facial expression, so that's good.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. Meanwhile, Michigan now with the football. It's going to be marked on their own 7-yard line following the outstanding punt by Luke Dunn, a transfer from Oregon.
Well, Michigan on the last drive, 7 plays, 80 yards, and I mentioned the last 4 plays being pass plays. A lot of confidence in what Bryce is doing right now. He's seeing the field well, not a lot of pressure on him, and this is with a brand new left tackle in there. And this is what I like about what Michigan's doing with that extra lineman. They bring him in. You always have that guy in your back pocket that is in the flow of the game. It's not like he's going out there cold. Blake Frazier has stepped in and done a tremendous job to this point.
And it looks like Michigan will be without Justice Haynes today, who is not checked in the ballgame after warming up in full uniform. Jordan Marshall, 5 carries, 24 yards. And again, you've talked about the job that Michigan has done up front with Blake Frazier in there for the injured Evan Link. And we already heard that Michigan playing without Marlon Klein. Boy, it seems like these captains can't stay injury-free this year.
Yeah, it's been a tough go for them, but they've had other guys be able to step in there. Zach Marshall at the tight end position has been really a consistent performer.
I'd like to see it. Zach is one of the more likable kids on this team.
Yeah.
All right, 1st and 10, Michigan from their own 7. Marshall in the backfield off the right hip, but Bryce Underwood, who takes the snap and will hand it off to Marshall, running up the middle, and he tries to bounce outside to the right. He gets tripped up as he gets back to the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, little read option there. They hand it off to Jordan Marshall, and trying to read that defense, trying to see how they're going to play that. Don't be surprised to see some of those be kept by Bryce. Because they're starting to crash down pretty hard on Jordan.
Wolverines now with 3 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Now they'll shift people back in tight on this 2nd down and 9. Underwood puts Max Bredesen in motion, takes the snap, back to pass, looking and delivers, and it's caught by Zach Marshall at the 20, and he gets undercut there, but that's good for a 1st down. Good for Zach. Ryland Dillard to Allen on the stop. 1st down, Michigan at the 21.
Boy, Bryce is really seeing this defense well and doing a nice job. That ball is just over the outstretched arms of one of the Washington linebackers, right on the money for Zach, and converting into an easy 1st down.
1st and 10, Michigan from the 21. They put Andrew Marsh in motion. He yo-yos back from right to left. Back to pass is Underwood. He's going to bail out of there under pressure. Looking downfield, he's going to tuck and run, 25-30, and he slides as he's got the first down at the 31-yard line. Move the chains for Michigan. There's the athleticism, a gain of 10.
Yeah, and when the pass protection breaks, that's the first time it's happened. You got a bull rush on the left tackle. He falls down. Right tackle gives up some pressure. All he does is spin out of it.
Wolverines go quickly, and they're going to roll out. Bryce to the right, he's going to fire, and it's caught with one hand by Andrew Marsh at the 50, and he's chopped down at the 48-yard line by Mikel Easton. But another play by the freshman-to-freshman combination. That is good for 20 yards.
I'm trying to see where that defense was, and I don't know if Bryce is throwing that one behind him because he saw the safety in the middle, but Andrew Marsh, what a great adjustment. I mean, Jason, that might be one of the tougher things to do is put the brakes on and reach back and try and make a catch like that.
That right there is talent. You can't coach that.
No.
Wolverines leading at 7-0, 8:15 to go first half. Michigan 1st and 10 from the Washington 48. They're going to go reverse to Donovan McCulley, who's looking downfield and will deliver, and it's broken up by the Huskies, almost intercepted.
Thank God the defensive backs can't catch.
Rashawn Clark.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Yeah, I mean, we got our own issues with Shug catching a pick six, but Donovan McCulley, you know that had to happen at some point this year. Donovan being the former quarterback down at Indiana, high school quarterback. It was a matter of time before it was going to happen. I'm just surprised with his experience that he would even try and throw that football.
Yeah, you're trying to throw the ball deep. You're not trying to throw a deep over route. That's the quarterback's job.
3 receivers split wide to the right. Now they'll motion Bredesen back into the line of scrimmage. Now he'll shift all the way over to the left. Underwood takes the snap. We'll hand it off to Marshall. Up the middle to the 45, plowing forward, close to the 40. Yards after contact there as he bulldozed for 8.
Well, I tell you what, looks like Max is running about 100 yards on every play because they take him all the way across the formation and they bring him back in, and he drops the hammer on the outside linebacker. To be able to cut off that backside, that's what creates that big hole for Jordan Marshall, and he's just, again, he's that bull.
3rd and 2 for Michigan from the Washington 40. Underwood looks like he wants to change the play, barking some commands at the offensive line. Now we're set to go. Big play here. Takes the snap. They go delayed handoff to Marshall. Makes a man miss in the backfield, and he's going to get the first down. Now across the 35, down to the 30. As he runs outside the hash mark and is dropped right there. Move the chains. What a move in the backfield as he gave him the dead leg, 10 yards for Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing that, hey, Justice isn't the only one that can make a guy miss in the hole. And, you know, when you have the motion coming across the formation, it takes the eyes of that defender. It also is Bryce showing that rollout that takes the eyes of the defenders as well.
1st and 10 from the Washington 30. Parker in at running back, the true freshman. Play action. They're going to roll Bryce out. He's going to deliver, and off the hands of his intended receiver, Zach Marshall. A little too far out in front of him.
A little too far out in front. And I think when they had the fake to Jasper Parker, and Jasper aborted the fake, came over in protection, and when Bryce turned around, I think he felt like that defensive end was going to be right in his face. He had just a little bit more time to take one more step and deliver a strike to the receiver.
2nd and 10 from the Washington 30. 6:40 to go. Michigan leading 7-0 here first half. And we get a whistle and maybe a false start up front on Michigan.
Illegal snap. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Greg Crippen.
Yeah, the Washington Huskies and the officials aren't going to let him go for the pump fake.
It's just a little flinch with the football.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. This is the brink of field goal range, right? Remember last week getting knocked out of field goal range?
Yep.
Chip Lindsey says this is a point of emphasis. It would be a long field goal from here, but no more negative plays. 2nd and 15 for Michigan for the Washington 35. 3 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right. Ball's on the right hash. Bryce back to pass. Tries to set up a wide receiver screen and does to Andrew Marsh. He's got it, but is dropped immediately. That time defended better by the Huskies. Marsh gets a yard, maybe 2. Exree Alexander, the transfer from UCF on the stop.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about, 3rd and 13?
Calling it 3rd and 14 here at the Big House. Whatever Carl Grapentine says, we'll go with.
Yeah. So 3rd and 14 here. This is where that pass protection is going to have to be solid, and Bryce is going to have the clock in his head. They're showing an all-out blitz.
3rd down and 14 for Michigan. Yeah, the Huskies really crowding the line of scrimmage. Snap. They're going to go handoff, running right with Jordan Marshall, and he'll get down close to the 30 and fights. Gets all he can before he is stopped right there. And so Michigan, after a gain of 4, will settle for certainly a more makeable field goal for Dom Zavada.
It seems like the wind is swirling around a little bit. You look at the north end zone, and there's nothing. You look at the south end zone, and the American flag is flying around. Jason, what's the wind feel like down there?
On the field, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. But, yes, as you're looking up, as the ball is going up, it looks like there is some wind going a little bit to the left of Dom Zavada.
This will be a 48-yard attempt from the right hash from Dom Zavada, trying to extend this Michigan lead. Good snap, ball placed down, the kick is on the way, and the kick is no good. Looked like it was wide left from up here, and each team has missed a field goal to that end of the field.
Now, Doug, you mentioned in pregame that we might have some gusty winds, and it feels like it's swirling down there, and both teams are struggling on that south end zone.
Michigan leading it here at the Big House 7-0, 5:11 to go first half. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Hey, Wolverine fans. As you head into the Big House this season, cheers with a toast to Michigan-made excellence. Founded by U of M alums Susan and Will Bramer, Laurentide Winery is proud to debut their award-winning amazing wines as the house wines of the Big House. 100% grown in Leelanau, crafted with passion, and perfect for your game day celebrations. You can find our wine on the concourse, club, or suites menus. Explore shop.laurentidewinery.com to learn more. Thank you, and go Blue!
Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield.
Lions fans have even more to cheer about with the new Detroit Lions games from the Michigan Lottery. Featuring a roster of fan favorites, instant ticket, pull tab, fast cash, and online play, you could win prizes up to $500,000.
Lions victory!
With the new Detroit Lions games, only from the Michigan Lottery. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Chrysler Center is the place to be on Sunday, October 19th, as Michigan Volleyball welcomes in traditional Big Ten power Nebraska. Fans can enjoy a pregame Volley Fest on the concourse with stations for photos, posters, and face tattoos leading up to the match at 2 o'clock. For your tickets, head to mgoblue.com/tickets. That's mgoblue.com/tickets to support Michigan Volleyball against Nebraska on Sunday, October 19th at 2 o'clock.
Sean Jansen, Jason Avant down on the field. Back to the Big House, 7-0 Michigan following the missed field goal from Dominic Zavada from 48 yards. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Well, this Michigan defense has given up some yards, and Washington has been in Michigan territory 3 times in 3 possessions and have 0 points.
Yeah, so the Michigan's defense knows something about Washington. Washington is an explosive offense, meaning that they get chunk plays. But this entire year, they've struggled to sustain drives. That's why they go down so much in the last few games, is that they're dependent upon the big play. If Michigan doesn't give up the big play, it's going to be tough for them to keep scoring and moving the ball.
Keep seeing these kids cycle through the Michigan secondary. True freshman Shamari Earls is in there to start this defensive drive here. We've seen last possession, Nate Marshall, another one of those true freshmen in there.
Nate Marshall, we've been talking about Jaden Sanders quite a bit.
Wink calls him the playpen. 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Huskies. They trail at 7-0. Both teams had missed opportunities, and we get a whistle, and I think we get a timeout taken by Washington before the snap. Jed Fish saw something he didn't like.
That was a shot.
What's that?
That was a play-action shot route.
Do you think they were going to take a shot downfield?
Yes, Boston was beaming off the ball, running toward the post.
Yeah. Oh, those kids back there.
Yeah.
It's a little scary. Jaden Sanders, Shamari Hurls, they played well.
Yeah.
Elijah Dotson has one of the big interceptions this year.
Yeah, we saw Jordan Young early in the season as well. I mean, you look at all of those positions back there, and you've got a young guy that has stepped up at different times throughout the course of the year because of some of the injuries. And now you get Rod Moore back, but those young guys, those valuable reps that they've had at the beginning of the season, this is when, and Doug Sharon has talked about this. Week 6, Week 7, you start to see more of those young guys start to really earn some time.
Defensively, 3 DTs in there for the first time for the Michigan defense. Changing up looks here as they're going to hand it off to Coleman up the middle, and he's going to get good yardage across the 35. Rides a defender to the ground at the 36, a gain of 6. There's Cole Sullivan. And Jimmy Rolder in there on the stop.
This offensive line that Washington has, and I know they're playing with a couple of backup guys on the left, and McCree and Finau, but they're technically sound. They play with good pad level. You're going to get some of those 4 or 5 yard runs just simply because they're doing a good job of meshing on their double teams and getting pushed.
2nd and 4 for Washington. Williams play action back to pass. He's getting flushed out of there, going to deliver, and he's got his tight end underneath across the 40 and is wrangled out of bounds at the 42-yard line on the far sideline. That was Cade Eldridge on the reception. Dominic Nichols on the stop. First down, Huskies.
Yeah, it's one of those new looks or one of those odd looks by Wink where you've got an edge defender that has the assignment of either fullback or tight end.
1st and 10 for Washington. They trail at 7-0. The 42-yard line. Williams, quick pass. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Actually batted up by Rayshon Benny. Flew back to the 30-yard line, incomplete.
That was a big point of emphasis this week with all the quick passes that they've seen the last couple of weeks against Wisconsin and USC. If you're not going to get home, you got to get into those passing lanes, get those big paws up, and Rayshon does a nice job. He's unblocked in that, but he knows he can't get there by the time the ball's going to be thrown, so he just tries to read the quarterback's eyes, does a great job of getting in the passing lane and batting it down.
4 minutes to go, first half, 7-0 Michigan, 2nd and 10 for the Huskies. Ball on the right hash, Williams back to pass, Wolverines blitz. Screen pass set up, it's to Coleman, and Zeke Berry gets out there and closes nicely and knocks Coleman out of bounds at the Michigan 49, a gain of 9. It'll be 3rd and short.
Well, Zeke made that one as hard as possible on him because he didn't have his eyes on coming out of the backfield and got caught inside. Fortunately, sideline wasn't that far away. He was able to knock him out of bounds.
This is the 3rd and 1 for Washington. Williams takes the snap, hands it off to Coleman, who bounces outside and gets the first down to the Michigan 45-yard line. Move the chains for the Huskies. 3:30 to go in the first half.
Cam Brandt was engaged with that offensive tackle. The right tackle just couldn't get off. He was in position to make a play, but wasn't able to make it at the line of scrimmage.
Well, once again, here's Washington in Michigan territory. No points to show for it yet. 3:15 to go first half. One of those freshmen, Jordan Young's in there at a safety spot, and they will deliver on the far sideline. Will Williams caught at the 40. Zeke Berry in coverage there. Pass caught by Desmond Roebuck, the freshman wide receiver.
Zeke has to be patient and realize that they're going to double move him at some point.
2nd down and 5. Here's a handoff. And getting down to the 32-yard line is Adam Mohammed. Ernest Hausman stops him short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2, 2:39 left to go. Nice job by Ernie Hausman of being able to fill that hole. Much better job this week by that defensive front of holding on to their responsibilities, taking on those double teams and those blockers to allow those linebackers to make the plays. Big 3rd down here.
Clock running. 2:19 to go in the half. 3rd and 2 from the 32 of Michigan. Williams is going to roll out to the right and deliver, and it's caught by Boston, who takes a big hit, but has the first down as he's dropped at the 33-yard line. Zeke Berry on the stop.
Yeah, and I got to believe, just like Jason talked about, Zeke is all of the secondary and corners need to be aware that those double moves are coming at some point. They're playing very aggressive. They're tired of seeing those passes completed in front of them, but going to have to remain disciplined in their assignments.
We're at the 2-minute timeout. Michigan leading 7-0. Can the Wolverines defense bow up and get a stop again? This is Michigan football from Learfield.
When you're injured, the first thing you need is a huddle. The right offense, the right plan, the right call. For 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been that huddle, fighting for the people and recovering more than $25 billion for our clients. This season, we're teaming up with the University of Michigan Athletics because the right huddle doesn't just protect you, it helps you win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Injured? Just dial pound log. Morgan & Morgan, Michael Hanna, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, 48266.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Corn breaks a tackle to the 10, to the 5, Blake Corum to the end zone.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
A smooth, close Barbasol shave in the morning lifts your confidence. That rich, creamy lather will catapult you to greatness. Nothing can stop you today. Well, except that traffic jam. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Just like your favorite sports team, you need a solid defense to protect what's important to you. Whether it's your business, home, or auto, turn to Lake Michigan Insurance Agency and Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance to keep you covered. Visit Lake Michigan Insurance Agency today at www.lmiainsurance.org. That's www.lmiainsurance.org.
John Jansen, Jason Avant down on the field. Michigan and Washington at the 2-minute timeout here of the first half. The Huskies have it 1st and 10 on the Michigan 33-yard line. 7-0 Wolverines in a game that could be 17-0 Wolverines. Could be 17-3.
Yeah.
As both teams missed field goals.
And Michigan just has more missed opportunities. Washington has done their fair share of penalties when they've gotten on Michigan's side of the field or in the red zone. And now it's a matter with 2 minutes left. Washington with 2 timeouts. They got to find a way to keep them out of the end zone.
Wolverines we haven't seen play defensively. Rod Moore, Brandon Hillman. I'm wondering if Trey Pierce is hurt.
Yeah, we don't know if it's injury or, if they looked at the film and said, hey, you guys, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
I do like the way that Ray Sean and Eno Etta have been playing at those defensive tackle positions. They've done a nice job of taking on those blocks.
Ray Sean has one of those great quotes so far this year. He says, doesn't matter who's in there, same 11.
Yep.
Always the same 11. And they've kind of adopted that. So see if this 11 can get the stop like they've done on all 3 previous Washington trips into Michigan territory. 1st and 10 for the Huskies from the Michigan 33-yard line. Wolverines crowding the line of scrimmage. Now they back out of there. Williams in an empty backfield. Back to pass. Under pressure, and down he goes. Derek Moore drops him back at the 42-yard line. A 9-yard loss on 1st down. What a play.
What a great job by Derek Moore. He's been going full bull rush, and it showed the bull rush and came right inside, slapped the arms of that left tackle down, and basically came in untouched.
Clock running, minute 35 to go. 2nd down and 18 for the Huskies. Williams in a shotgun. Back to pass. Looking downfield, will deliver down the middle, and what a pass and catch. Caught inside the Michigan 15-yard line. Raiden Vans Bright on the reception as Williams threaded the needle. Jaden Mangum on the stop.
Yeah, and right before he took a hit by Jayshon Barham, I mean, that's when you know you've got something special at quarterback. Takes a sack, and it doesn't fluster him at all. Comes right back and hits a pass, threads the needle right down the middle.
That was one heck of a throw. 1st and 10 for the Huskies from the Michigan 11. Minute 7 to go, clock running. Empty backfield again for Williams. Now they're going to shift Jonah Coleman back in there. Wolverines crowding the line of scrimmage. Snap. Handoff to Coleman, and he breaks one tackle at the 10 and gets down to the 6. And Washington takes a timeout with 50 seconds to go. Who had him there?
Rayshon Benny had him right at the line of scrimmage and just couldn't bring him down. That's what happens, though. When you got a guy that's got 11 touchdowns, he's hard to bring down. Jonah Coleman, especially in the red zone.
I mean, he's built like a propane tank, man. I mean,
I know, yeah. What is he, 5'8", 225 pounds?
Yeah.
He's a squatty guy, and those guys are really hard to bring down, but you got to make those plays. So it leaves Washington with one timeout with 50 seconds left. Second down, 5?
Yeah.
They can get a first down just inside the 1 yard line.
The Michigan defense at least forced a field goal attempt.
And this is where having a quarterback like Damon Williams is really dangerous.
Yeah.
Simply because you want to load up against the run. You don't want to give him anything easy inside, but if you overcommit, it's an easy touchdown for him or on the edge.
Coming out of the timeout, they're going empty backfield again. Watch the QB draw here. Williams takes the snap, goes wide receiver screen quickly. He's got his receiver inside the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 1 yard line. That was Raiden Vines-Bright again, and that is good for a first down with 44 seconds to go. So Washington will have multiple cracks at it here.
Yeah, and I mean, it was Ernie Hausman was a linebacker coming from the inside, just took an angle that was just a little bit shallow to be able to make that tackle.
First and goal, Huskies from inside the 1. Williams takes the snap, hands it off to Coleman up the middle and into the end zone for a Washington touchdown with 40 seconds to go in the half.
And that's his 12th touchdown this year.
Yeah,
touchdown.
And I mean, that's, you mentioned he's built like a propane tank. With 1 yard to go, it is really hard to stop him with a head of steam, and it's why he's now sitting there with 12 touchdowns.
Big play there was overcoming the second down and 18 following the Derek Moore sack. So Washington hits pay dirt here late in the first half. Grady Gross on for the extra point to tie it up. Snap is high. The holder Dunn gets it down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good to tie the game at 7. So that drive, 13 plays, 70 yards, over 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Washington's got to be thrilled knowing they get the football to start the second half.
Yeah.
And with 40 seconds to go here, do you invest in a drive to try and get some points?
Yeah, and I mean, Washington, they can only stop the clock one time. They got one timeout. So Michigan wants to take it to halftime and not do much of anything or risk a turnover. They certainly can run out the clock. I would expect that we'll see some type of run up the middle, maybe even a draw quarterback run, just to see what they can get on first down if they possibly make a big play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go into 2 minutes.
Yeah, Michigan has all 3 of their timeouts if they decide to get aggressive here. Again, only 40 seconds to go. You got a freshman quarterback. You got a second string left tackle in there.
Yeah, but you got a freshman quarterback that's really playing at a high level right now, and he's made, to this point, good decisions today.
All right, here's the kickoff from Gross. Andrew Marsh is going to let it sail, as that one's going to go out of the back of the end zone, and Michigan will take over on the 25-yard line with no time coming off the clock.
Interesting play call here because, I mean, you could take a quick slant and just see, hey, maybe we'll get a missed tackle, somebody slip and fall, might be able to get a big play, something that's not going to put the ball at a big risk, or you could just try and see if you can run up the middle and see what you get.
Channing Stribling split out wide right. Andrew Marsh in the slot to the left. Donovan McCulley split out wide left. Pistol formation with Jordan Marshall in the backfield. Zach Marshall, the tight end. On 1st and 10 from the 25 with 40 seconds to go. They're going to go wide receiver screen to Andrew Marsh. And he gets chopped down in the backfield. Stribling couldn't get a block, and he lost a yard, maybe 2. That
ball might have been snapped just a hair early because Channing Goodwin couldn't get over there and in position to make that block. He was trying to get there, but that defender's the one that tripped him up.
Channing Goodwin, not Stribling. I knew I'd do that eventually. There's a pass down the seam from Bryce Underwood to Zach Marshall, who lays out and can't come up with it. The 45, incomplete.
That was a perfect ball.
Yeah, that one went right through Zach Marshall's hands. That's the big play that you wanted on second down. Now you're sitting there at third down with 15 seconds.
You got to run this.
Yeah, well, and Washington still has a timeout, so they can make Michigan punt it. Unless the Wolverines get a first down. It's third down at 11. 3 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, wide receiver screen to Goodwin across the 25 to the 30 and out of bounds, stopping the clock with 8 seconds to go, 1 yard shy of the first down. And do we have an injury down there?
Yeah.
Was it Samaj?
No, it's not Samaj. It looked like Goodwin down.
He's down right in the Michigan bench area. We're tied at 7. There's 5 seconds to go in the half. Michigan looking at a 4th and 1.
Yeah, they're working on his left shoulder. They're underneath his pad. Wow.
So I guess we will take it to half.
Down inbounds.
Yep.
All right, well,
yeah.
We'll go to the half. Channing Goodwin is getting addressed down below on the Michigan sideline. The Wolverines have gathered around. Now some of them start off to the locker room. As we're tied at 7 here at the half in Ann Arbor, we'll give you an update on Channing Goodwin as soon as we have word. In the meantime, halftime festivities to come here in Ann Arbor, including scores from around the country with our Rob Joyce. Brian Bush will anchor our coverage. We'll hear from our guy, Jack Miller, as well. 7-7, Michigan and Washington. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor, official partner of Michigan Athletics. Whether you're tailgating or headed to the big house, Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor has the perfect vehicle for every fan. New or pre-owned, our team has a large inventory of vehicles ready for you today. And a special offer for Wolverine fans, receive a $1,000 discount and 3 years of maintenance on any new Lexus purchase when you mention this ad. Stop by Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor or get started at LexusofAnnArbor.com.
Subscribe to the official podcast home of Michigan Athletics, Go Blue Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. This is the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Introducing Celsius, the energy you need for Michigan football. Pop open a can of Celsius and experience a refreshing taste made with proven ingredients, 0 sugar, and essential vitamins, helping you keep up with every play and celebration. Whether you're in the big house or cheering from your couch, Celsius keeps you energized for every quarter. Find Celsius at a retailer near you or at Celsius.com. Celsius. Live fit. Go.
Foguth Financial Group is the proud wealth management partner of Michigan Athletics. The 4th annual Night Out at the Big House sold out, but due to increased demand, another date is scheduled for Thursday, November 6th. Learn strategies for managing the risks of retirement and enjoy complimentary dinner and drinks, door prizes, and exclusive access to Tour Michigan Stadium. Just go to mgoblue.com/bighouse to sign up. That's mgoblue.com/bighouse. Limited seats are available.
Let's break down the first half of action. Welcome to the Halftime Show, driven by Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor, proud partner of University of Michigan Athletics. Online at lexusofannarbor.com. Analysis, highlights, and stats are on the way. Now, here's your host, Rob Joyce.
Halftime for the Big House, a touchdown apiece. Michigan 7, Washington 7, as we look back at the first 30 minutes with the highlights. Wolverines took the ball first, went 3 and out. Huskies moved the ball a bit on their first drive. A couple of first downs, wind up punting in plus territory. Better second drive for the Wolverines. 3 first downs across midfield. 3rd and 16, picked up 15. Did lose left tackle Evan Link to a knee injury on the play. Wound up going forward on 4th and short. Threw it, incomplete pass. Turnover on down. Some missed chances for Michigan early. Well, it was Washington's turn to do the same. First play after the turnover on downs by the Maize and Blue. 48-yard completion to Denzel Boston. Washington's in the red zone. Ends in a missed field goal. 10 minutes in, we stay scoreless. And then finally, Wolverines would throw the first punch. Couple of Jordan Marshall first downs on the ground. Then first down completions to Donovan McCulley and Zach Marshall near the red zone. Then the stud freshman finished the job.
Underwood takes the snap. Back to pass. They set up a screen. They got it to Andrew Marsh. Across the 15 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Wolverines. Beautiful play call against a blitz. Chip Lindsey, you dialed one up right there. And the Wolverines take a 6-0 lead.
4 receptions for 42 yards, and that score for Andrew Marsh to lead all receivers in the first half. 80 yards, 7 plays, the drive, end of 1. It's 7-0. Early second, Huskies try to respond. 3rd and 10, a screen picks up 27 yards across midfield. Again, though, forced to punt in plus territory. Pins Michigan deep. Doesn't matter, it seemed. 3 plays, 3 first downs, including a one-handed grab by Marsh at midfield. Jordan Marshall, a tough conversion on 3rd and 2 near the 40. Cannot turn it into points, though. Dom Zavada misses a 48-yard field goal attempt. 5 minutes to halftime, still 7-0. Then a chance for Washington to again go on the move, but this time they'd get points. Cross midfield, Huskies did that on every drive in the first half. This occasion, a 31-yard pitch and catch inside the red zone with under a minute to go in the half. Then late in the second quarter, the Huskies would even it up.
1st and goal, Huskies from inside the 1. Williams takes the snap, hands it off to Coleman up the middle and into the end zone for a Washington touchdown with 40 seconds to go in the half.
A 13-play, 70-yard drive. Michigan doesn't do anything with the final 40 seconds. And at the half, we're tied at 7. Huskies will get the ball to start quarter number 3. Today's halftime show driven by Jermaine Lexus of Ann Arbor, proud partner of University of Michigan Athletics, online at lexusofannarbor.com. We'll take a timeout, come back, tell you what else is going on a busy Saturday around the rest of college football. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Touchdown! From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go, go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Intercepted by Charles Woodson. Polish off the Heisman.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Michigan. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Michigan and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Michigan.
Michigan and Washington tied at 7 at the break. Time for another check of scores. We're the only Big Ten game in progress right now. Everything else begins later on. It starts at 3 o'clock in Evanston, where Lucky Northwestern takes on Purdue. A Wildcats victory against the yet-to-win a Big Ten game Boilermakers. Wildcats will be 3-1 in the league. At 3:30, the Big Ten leaders will take on a couple of folks also looking for the first Big Ten victory like Purdue. Indiana hosts Michigan State, while Ohio State heads to Wisconsin. Hoosiers and Buckeyes, the only remaining conference teams without a loss. Spartans and Badgers among the 5 without a Big Ten victory. That list also includes Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights are at home at 6:30, taking on Oregon off of last week's loss to Indiana. 7 o'clock, reeling Penn State heads to Iowa. Try to snap that 3-game losing skid. New interim head coach is Terry Smith after James Franklin got fired on Sunday, and Smith outlines what the week has been like and what's been a disastrous October in State College.
I think the guys are responding somewhat. We still have some work to do. They're all hurt and torn. And disappointed in what happened. Coach brought everyone in the building in, so there's just these are young people. They're not used to this. We as adults, we have to adjust quicker. But we're just taking the time to mentor these guys and spend some quality time with them to get them, interested and motivated back out here.
So that's at 7 o'clock. Also at 7, the team who started all of Penn State's woes, UCLA, goes for a third straight victory. Tonight they're at home at the Rose Bowl against Maryland. Terps have dropped back-to-back games. And then the night in the league rounds out with non-conference play at 7:30 in South Bend, a monster game for number 20 USC, now ranked, taking on 13th ranked Notre Dame in what could be a playoff eliminator. That's the day of the Big Ten. Time now to look nationally at the top 25, brought to you by Pioneer State Mutual Insurance. A couple of good ones going on right now. We'll start in the SEC. One of 3 top 20 clashes in the SEC today. In Nashville at the half, number 17 Vanderbilt leads 10th-ranked LSU 17-13. Good one at the half. In the ACC, a couple of 3-0 teams in that conference. Number 12 Georgia Tech on the road, tied with Duke, same score as ours, 7-7. And then one other game in progress in the SEC. Number 14, Oklahoma, off of last week's loss to Texas, has a 14-0 advantage at South Carolina midway through the second in Columbia. Notable games still to come include number 9, Georgia, hosting 5th-ranked Ole Miss at 3:30. First time the Rebels go into a matchup against the Bulldogs as the higher-ranked team since 1999. Then at 7:30 tonight, number 6, Alabama, looks to make it 11 straight victories at home against 11th-ranked Tennessee. Haven't won in Tuscaloosa, have the Vols, since 2003. Lastly, 8 o'clock tonight, a pivotal rivalry game in the Big 12 race. It pits number 15 BYU against 23rd-ranked Utah in Provo. BYU 3-0 in Big 12 play, along with Cincinnati, along with Texas Tech. Utah trying to stay alive in that race. The Utes are 2-1 already in the Big Ten. Other mid-afternoon games to start alongside ours. Technically no other games until 5:30, where Arkansas and Texas A&M got pushed back, and then also at 4 o'clock, the other Big 12 co-leaders, Texas Tech, is at Arizona State. That Top 25 scoreboard brought to you by Pioneer State Mutual Insurance, a Michigan tradition since 1908. Again, 30 minutes complete in our game. Michigan 7, Washington 7. Brian Bush, Jason Avant, Jack Miller. We'll break down the first half when we return as you listen to Michigan football from Learfield.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Donovan Edwards throwing deep down the sideline. He's got a receiver wide open. It's a house call for Michigan.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Seven all, Michigan and Washington here from the Big House. Today's halftime show is driven by Jermaine Alexis of Ann Arbor, proud partner of University of Michigan Athletics. Online at lexusofannarbor.com. Brian Bush and Jack Miller back with you here in the press box. Jason Avant down field level. Jack, just your overall takeaways to what was, I think, a pretty promising first, 25 or so minutes for Michigan, but it is a bit of a gut punch to have that touchdown get there with the final minute of that first half.
Yeah, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth the way they finished that half. I mean, 220 yards of offense in the first half. You'd say, okay, we'll take that. They weren't able to finish some of the drives that they were able to move the ball down the field on. I think they've played pretty well offensively.
defensively, I think they've been pretty sound, save for that last drive. And it's just unfortunate because they've done a good job keeping Williams contained for the most part. They've done a good job with those wide receivers and being down the field. We haven't gotten much of a pass rush. They haven't allowed us the opportunity all that much. And when they have, we haven't gotten enough of a pass rush. That's a credit to the secondary that, save for a couple plays, has been where they need to be and has played okay. So, you got to wipe the slate clean. It's a 0-0 ball game. Go make some adjustments and come out better in the second half, hopefully.
Jason, your big takeaways from those first 30 minutes.
Yeah, just missed opportunities. Michigan, in my count, has 4 drop passes, and I thought that Bryce Underwood is delivering the ball and putting it in spots where guys should make plays. They haven't made those plays, and I would say that's the difference in the game thus far. You're talking about a Michigan offense who probably should have at least 17 points right now, and when you look at it on Washington's offensive end, I think our defense is doing the job. Washington is an explosive offense, and if you can avoid giving up the big play, which we haven't thus far. We've given up 1 or 2 good big plays, and it's hard for them to sustain offense. They did that last, but they gave up an explosive play in that drive on the 2nd and long. So I think if you can, limit them getting explosive plays, it'd be a lot easier to stop them for our defense. But offensively, we were shooting ourselves in the foot.
Jason, you know this as a former wide receiver. It seems like when Bryce is throwing those balls, man, it's 100-mile-an-hour fastball sometimes. And, yes, some of those drops, those receivers should have caught the ball. But it's just it's so hot coming in there. Do you think he can slow it down to an 85-mile-an-hour fastball instead of 100 and give those guys a better chance to see it into their body and make that play happen? It's just he gets I think that's some of the inexperience from a freshman is just he gets excited and he darts that ball in there at 100 miles an hour. If he can slow it down, maybe it helps with some of those catches. Now, again, they should have those plays. And that's really, we got to capitalize when we have opportunities. There's been times out there that we have not taken advantage of it. The interception that could have been, probably would have been a pick six. There's a lot of that stuff out there. So even though it's 7-7, you feel like there's still a lot out there. That's the good news. You got a second half to go capitalize on it.
And DeMond Williams Jr., Jason, you talk about the defensive effort. In Washington's 5 wins this year, he has rushed for 50-plus yards. In the loss to Ohio State, he was in negative yardage. 4 carries, -4 yards. It seems like, certainly from the ground game standpoint, Williams is going to have his passes, but they've really bottled him up as a rusher.
They have. You have to rush him disciplined. We talked about it in the pregame show. It's about that cage rush, not getting beyond the quarterback when you're rushing around the edge. Make sure you retrace your steps. I thought they did a great job of that. And when you talk about guys that are making plays, I thought Ernest Hausman was able to tackle him in space on a play last week that he went for 50 against Rutgers. So they're doing a good job defensively of knowing where he is. Sometimes the pass rush isn't getting there and he has a little extra time in the pocket, but that's the game that you play. That's what you give up when you say, we can't let this guy run. So you have to give up something. Now we just have to cover better on the back end.
Evan Link, Jack, left in that first quarter. Blake Frazier comes in. Your thoughts on how the offensive line has held up?
Yeah, I think they're doing okay. I think Jordan Marshall's running really hard. There's been times where they've gotten great movement and great push, and he hasn't just run into the offensive line at 3 or 4 yards and fallen down. He's doing a better job this weekend of churning his legs, falling forward for another couple yards. I think, the silver lining, you never want to see a guy go down, and we wish all the best to Evan Link. Blake Frazier, a highly touted guy, a legacy here at Michigan. Could this be his coming out party? I think he's played pretty solid thus far.
Quickly, Jason, what do you need to see from Michigan here in the second half?
Well, I need to see us get out of 2nd and long and stop with the avoidable things, right? So we can, not make those negative plays. The times where Michigan has stopped themselves offensively has been, them with a false start or a drop pass or something like that. So stay ahead of the sticks, and I think that will be the key to the game. 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and then we can maybe take the air out of the ball a little bit in the second half from Washington's offense.
Yeah, I agree. You just got to take advantage of the opportunities that come to you. I think we've done a good job, have called a pretty good game for 90% of this. That other 10% can't be so detrimental that you go in 7-7. This game feels like Michigan's been in control for the most part, besides a couple plays. Just play a little more consistent. Don't let that 10% of plays hurt you as bad as it did in the first half.
More from Jack and me during our post-game show. That was the halftime show driven by Jermaine Lexus of Ann Arbor. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification as you listen to Michigan football from Learfield. Michigan 7, Washington 7. Huskies getting set to receive the second half kickoff. Stay tuned. Doug Carr, Sean Jansen, and Jason Avant bring you the second half of action next. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Champions Circle is the leading Michigan athletics fan engagement community. We connect fans with once-in-a-lifetime experiences, produce public and private events, offer club memberships, and operate an online retail store, selling exclusive apparel, trading cards, autographs, and other memorabilia featuring Michigan student athletes. To become a member or learn more about how you can support your favorite Michigan student athletes, visit championscircleufm.com. Champions Circle is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics.
And we pause for a word over this, the very maize and blue Michigan Football Network.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
It's time to think forward first. Right now, check out the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend for $359 a month for 36 months, with only $359 cash due at signing. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all buyers will qualify for low-mileage Ford Credit Red Carpet Lease. Payment includes $1,000 RCL cash, $1,000 open trade assist, and $400 AXZD BFG bonus cash. Offers are only valid on package 200A. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by November 3rd. See dealer for qualifications and details. So take advantage of this great offer and lease a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $359 a month for 36 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Today's game is presented by the leaders and best at Michigan medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. To find your Michigan answer, visit MichiganAnswers.com. Another Michigan-Washington matchup is on the air. Now let's return to the Big House. Here again, Doug Karsh and John Jansen.
Michigan and Washington tied at 7 after a half of play here in Ann Arbor. We welcome you back to the game, brought to you by Founders Brewing Company, and we go down to the field for Sherrone Moore's comments to his team at half. Jason Avant, what did the head coach have to say?
To the offense, sustain blocks, the inside zone is working. Be prepared for more of it. Finish drives, stay focused and composed, execute at the highest levels. To the offensive line, grind, strain, strike them, and our plays are good. Blow them off the ball. Defense, need to knock them back up front. More physical. Can't let the backs get loose in the quarterback. Good eyes, no extra yards, make the tackle. To the team, start fast, play with passion, and finish. One thing that he didn't say was catch the football, so I'll say it, catch the football.
Thank you, Jason Avant. That welcome back brought to you by Founders Brewing Company. It's not a Michigan game day without a Michigan-made beer. Founders Brewing Company, proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics. Welcome to Kraft. So a couple injury notes. Channing Goodwin is indeed still in uniform following that injury late first half. But we see Rod Moore, Justice Haynes, and Brandon Hillman all in street clothes here, changing out a full uniform at halftime. So they are clearly unavailable.
Yep. Down a few bodies. Now it hurts, that Rod Moore's not out there, especially in playing against an offense like this where you need that coach on the field. Defense has done a nice job of minimizing some of those explosive plays, but going to be tested here coming out of the second half. That's where it really got to Rutgers last week.
Here comes Sunderland. Will put his right foot into it, and Mohammed will let it sail 5 yards deep into the end zone, and Washington will take over to start the second half from their 25. All right, so a decent job done. If you told me at the beginning of the game they'd hold Washington 7 points in the first half, I'd take it. And they hold them to that or less here in the second half with the dangerous Damon Williams at quarterback.
Yeah, and we'll see who's going to make the best halftime adjustments. Is it going to be Wink, or is it going to be, what they're going to do on Washington?
Wolverines playing shorthanded defensively. Trey Pierce did start the game, did play in the game, but appears to have left the game with some undisclosed injury. So they're down 3 starters on defense. First and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Huskies. Snap, handoff, Coleman up the middle, and there's not much room there as the Wolverines stack him up as it gets across the 26, out to the 27. Ernest Hausman leading the Michigan tacklers, second down.
Yeah, trying to run that counter to the right side. Nice job of getting in the hip pocket of that pulling left guard. That's where you really can impact some of those pulling plays, is if you can beat that center and his block backside and get underneath, you can really put a dent in that scheme.
2nd down and 8 for the Huskies from their own 27-yard line in this first possession of the second half. Williams back to pass, going to take a shot downfield, looking for Boston, and he overthrows it, incomplete, out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long for Washington.
Derek Moore back to the bull rush. He's walking that left tackle right back into the feet of the quarterback, Demond Williams.
It was Jair Hill, stride for stride there with Boston.
Yeah, that was a great jam at the line of scrimmage by Jair Hill. He got both hands on Denzel Boston right there, which forced the incompletion.
Wolverines have Jason Barham lined up over the football here on this 3rd down and 8. But he is in a standing position. Back to pass is Williams. And he's in trouble, and down he spits out of it. Wow, Williams looking downfield will deliver incomplete right in front of the Michigan bench. Whew.
Cam Brandt had him, and he had him so wrapped up that he tried to throw him down. And when you're playing against a player with the balance and the athleticism like Demond Williams, you can't just think he's going to go down. You've got to actually take him to the ground. That was scary.
Well, how about that? Getting a 3 and out, just what the doctor ordered here in the second half. And Michigan will send Samaj Morgan back to return this punt, standing on his own 29-yard line. Luke Dunn will let it fly. It's going to be a short punt and bounce out of bounds right in front of the Washington bench on the far side. We wait to see where they mark it. This is one where the official's just walking up the field with his hand in the air, and he stops at the 40. So that's where Michigan will take over on this first possession in the second half on their own 40.
Yeah, and we talked about some of the adjustments at halftime. One of them is just catch the ball. But for this offense, got to get back to the rhythm that they had on that long drive, that touchdown scoring drive, where they paired the run. The last 4 plays were nice, quick passes.
Offensively, no Evan Link, no Marlon Klein, no Hogan Hansen, who I saw in street clothes at halftime. 1st and 10 from the 40. Pistol formation here for Bryce Underwood with Jordan Marshall deep. They put Andrew Marsh in motion. Snap. And they're going to roll out. Bryce Underwood fires underneath to Andrew Marsh. Makes a man miss at the 42 and out across the 45 to the 47-yard line, where he's flung to the ground by Devin Bryant from that Washington defense. A gain of 7.
Well, I really like what I see from Andrew Marsh when he's got the ball in his hands, of being able to make a guy miss, or at least hit him on one of the armpits, one of the outside numbers, so that he can gain a couple of more yards. He could have very well easily been tackled for about a 3-yard gain. Instead, he goes out for 7.
Early 3rd quarter, we're tied at 7. Wolverines with the football, following the defense, forcing a 3 and out. 2nd down and 3 from the 47. Marshall in the backfield off the left hip of Bryce Underwood, who takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Marsh. Nope, he'll play action, pull it down, and fire it on a slant to Andrew Marsh, who's got it. Flag comes in late. Marsh has a 1st down at the 42.
I don't know if there's a chance we could have had a lineman downfield.
Yeah, probably lineman downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's a risky run when you run some of those RPOs. The lineman got to know there's only a certain level of aggression that you could play with. Boy, you hate to take away a 1st down like that. I like the ball handling skills in the backfield. We all thought that Jordan Marshall had the ball. That's one of the things that Bryce is really starting to do well.
3rd penalty on Michigan in this game, and it backs him up to a 2nd down and 7 from their own 42. Underwood in a shotgun will hand it off to Marshall, running right across the 45 to the 50 and into Washington territory, down to the 47-yard line. A good run there. Devin Bryant took him down. Jordan Marshall with both skis pointed downhill as he hit the hole, a gain of 11.
And normally we're talking about Max Bredesen, that guy going in motion. This time it's Jalen Hoffman, and they're using him just like they use Max. He does a nice job of coming in motion and cutting off that backside, allowing the space for Jordan Marshall to cut up inside.
1st and 10 Michigan from the Washington 46-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Ball's on the right hash. Wolverines going left to right here, early 3rd quarter. Underwood back to pass. Bails out of there under pressure. Now it looks like he's going to run and get tracked down from behind as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jacob Lane on the stop there for the Huskies. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
One of the things Bryce, normally I would say he's doing well, is keeping his eyes downfield, trying to make sure he can throw that ball all the way up until he hits that line of scrimmage. But there comes a point when you're under duress like that where, hey, just tuck it and run it. If he does, instead of pump fake it, he probably runs away from the linebacker. Instead, it's just a no gain.
2nd down and 10 for Michigan from the Washington 46. 11:55 to go, third quarter. Underwood takes the snap, hands it off to Marshall, cuts back against the grain and gets down to the 43-yard line of the Huskies, a gain of 3.
Well, getting some good push up front, but we're not getting off on the linebackers. And, I mean, the defensive line is doing their job. They're trying to eat up those double teams, but you got to find a way to create leverage and push that defender onto, whichever way he wants to go, onto the other offensive linemen so you can get up on those linebackers.
1 of 5 on 3rd down is Michigan. This is a 3rd and 6. They gave Marshall 4 there. They go empty backfield here on this 3rd down. And now they're going to shift Marshall back into the backfield. He's to the right of Bryce Underwood, who takes the snap. Here comes a blitz. Underwood fires. He's got Zach Marshall on a crossing route to the 40, far side 30, and he's chopped down at the 32, or checked at the 27-yard line of the Huskies by Mikel Esteen, and moved the chains for the Wolverines. A big 3rd down conversion to Zach Marshall, 15 yards.
Well, Bryce knows he's got man coverage on Zach, and as he's cutting underneath, it's just a matter of him running away from the safety. And the accuracy of Bryce right now of being able to throw it when a guy's running left to right but away from him, he's got really good accuracy on those throws.
Good play call against the blitz, too. 1st and 10. Bryce quickly delivers to Samaj Morgan, who catches it. 25-20, outside the numbers at the 15, and is knocked out of bounds at the Washington 14-yard line. Good run after catch, weaving through the defense by Samaj.
And a great block downfield by Donovan McCauley. He's the one that springs him for the 1st down. You don't have that blocking downfield, and you're going to come up short every single time.
Yeah, I was proud of the receivers on that play right there.
Did he look that one in, a special extra beat there to make sure he hung on to it, Jason?
Yeah, it was behind him, so he had to. So, yeah.
We see Jasper Parker in there on this 1st and 10 from the Washington 14-yard line. Underwood in a shotgun, brings Max Bredesen in motion. Will hand it off to Parker running right, puts his head down, not much running room there. Burrows forward, down to maybe the 13, give him a yard.
No, that one kind of felt like a pillow fight up front. Not a lot of push, not a lot of contact. We're going to have to get some more push up there, especially when you get in the red zone. Michigan has really struggled, and this is where Washington has really been able to bow their neck. They've given up yardage in between the 20s, but they've been one of the best teams in the country of being able to stop a team in the red zone.
2nd down and 8 from the Washington 12. Wolverines got 3 receivers split wide left, 1 to the right. That's Donovan McCauley. Underwood surveys the defense and takes the snap. Back to pass, fires, and incomplete. Looking for Jordan Marshall on a quick screen out of the backfield.
Jason, are you right there? That one looked like it was that was a fastball. That was a heater.
Yeah, that was a fastball, and it was off target, but that play was going nowhere anyway because there was 2 defenders out there.
Yeah, might have actually been better that it was incomplete. Might not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Big play here. Wolverines can get a 1st down inside the Washington 4-yard line. They're looking at a 3rd and 8 from the 12. Empty backfield for Underwood. Now he'll shift Marshall into the backfield to his right. Play clock winding down. Underwood takes the snap, looking left, going to fire underneath. He's got it caught right at the line to gain and just short to Donovan McCauley for 6 yards.
They're going for it. Sharon Moore right now signaling go for it. You got 4th, and is that about 2, or it looks like at least a long one?
I'd say it's 4th and 2.
Yeah, it's 2. I got 2 here. I'm right on it.
Wouldn't be shocked if they try to get Washington to jump here.
It's just before 2.
Underwood's going to go under center here. Marshall deep. Bredesen fullback offset right. Now they bring him in motion. They're going to hand it off to Marshall running left, and he's met at the hole. He's battling. Can he get there? The push is forward, and where that's getting marked, I don't think he got it. No. He did not.
The referee came in before the play was over and spotted it.
Well, I think they deemed his forward motion was dead on arrival. and they blew it dead.
Boy, I'm looking at a replay here. They marked him well short, and he looked way ahead of where they marked him. Marshall wants a replay, and we'll see if we get one. I'm looking at a replay from above. They had to get the 4-yard line. Marshall first got hit at the 5.
And Sharon is all over the officials. I don't know.
Let's see a reverse angle. Well, we get a timeout. We'll see if this one gets reviewed. Otherwise, Washington gets a stop, and we'll take over on their own 5. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Hey, Michigan fans. Is it time to upgrade your outdoor living space? As the #1 brand in premium decking, TimberTech scores big points for real wood looks without the costly maintenance. It will never rot, warp, splinter, or peel. And it's backed by industry-leading warranties, so your deck can perform at the top of its game season after season. TimberTech, official decking and railing partner of Michigan Athletics. Order free samples at timbertech.com. That's timbertech.com.
Win with UMCU. Score a financial touchdown with the University of Michigan Credit Union's Go Blue checking account and get your exclusive Block M debit card for the extra point. UMCU's Go Blue checking account comes with no minimum balance, no hidden fees, and with the Block M debit card, you can show off your maize and blue wherever you go. Join today, Michigan fans. Visit umcu.org. That's umcu.org. UMCU is insured by NCUA.
Michigan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com for Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Doug Harsh, John Jansen, Jason Arana. It does not appear as they will review it. I thought Marshall got inside the 5. I'm not sure he had the first down, but he got inside the 5.
I was talking to the official over there. They were on the sideline. It was a late push, but the referee had already blew the whistle.
Listen to all things college sports, including live games and talk on Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, streaming on the Sirius XM app. First and 10, Washington from the 5. Jonah Coleman running left, gets to the 10. He powers forward to the 12. A good gain there on first down.
This is where defense needs to come up big. You got them, they start this drive inside the 10-yard line. You got to try and force a punt somewhere, some way, somehow, so you get the ball back at about midfield.
It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Huskies. Wolverines showing a 4-man front. Williams looking at the Michigan defense from under center. Will take a snap and hand it off to Coleman, and he gets swarmed under right at the line of scrimmage. Good job there from Trey Williams. Trey Groovy on the stop. No gain.
Yeah, nice job by Ernest Hausman of shooting that backside A-gap. As the offensive line is all rolling to the left, he does a nice job of shooting in that backside A-gap, knowing that's where the running back wants to cut back to.
Big play here. 3rd down and a long one. Huskies put 2 guys out, wide right, snap, handoff, Coleman up the middle, and he just has the first down across the 15, out to the 16. Ernest Hausman and Jimmy Rolder combined on the stop. Move the chains for the Huskies.
Just enough push inside to be able to find a little crease to pick up the first down. Take a shift change of the big boys up front.
Both teams have been able to move the ball reasonably well. They've had problems finishing drives. That's why we're tied at 7 here, 6:54 to go, 3rd quarter. 3 receivers split out wide right, 1 to the left. 4-man front for Michigan. Williams in a shotgun, has the snap, back to pass. Going to bail out of there to the right, looking downfield. Now he's in trouble. Oh, a Wolverine gets taken down. There's the flag. Ball gets batted away on the delivery by Williams, incomplete. But I think we're going to get a holding call.
Yep. There was a tackle in the backfield.
I believe it was Nate Marshall, the freshman, that got taken down.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Indeed, it was Nate Marshall. Good job by the freshman. Half the distance to the goal. The ball gets backed up to the 8.
Yeah, anytime you roll a quarterback out like that, you're trying to reset the launch point of the quarterback. We talk about it from Michigan's perspective all the time, but great job by Nate Marshall, the young guy doing what he's supposed to do, and that is hold backside in case you have that rollout or a cutback.
4th penalty on the Huskies. They're looking at a 1st and 18 now. It's half the distance to the goal, and we're going to get a whistle. What's this about?
Please reset the game clock to 6 minutes, 37 seconds, please. 6:37.
All right, well, it's at 6:27, so. Look, we've seen a Michigan second half defense like Nebraska.
Yeah.
They came out and dominated the game. And then we saw Michigan's second half defense last week against USC.
No.
I'll choose the Nebraska defense for this one.
Well, and 3 and out to start is the way. It's more that Nebraska style than it was last week against USC.
Clock is reset and we're ready to go. 1st and 18 for the Huskies, backed up inside their own 10. Williams back to pass, looking right, delivers wide open to his tight end to the 20, out to the 22-yard line. Pitch and catch right there.
Yeah, everybody's dropping back into his own defense and just lost sight of the tight end. He was just able to leak right out over top of the formation.
14 yards for Decker DeGraff. Out to the 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4. 2 receivers split to either side. Empty backfield for Damon Williams, who's back to pass, looking right, now looking left. Now he's bailing out of there to the right, going to deliver and throw it out of bounds. Nobody else. Good job by the secondary.
Yeah, because there wasn't much pressure.
You got an injured Wolverine, it looks like. Wolverines already. It's Rayshon Benny. They're playing without Trey Pierce, who played, I believe, only 1 play in this game. He did get the start, but was hobbled, and it's Rayshon Benny on his back. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout as they address this injury, and we got a huge 3rd and 4 coming up from here at the Big House, tied at 7, 6:04 to go, 3rd quarter. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Hey, Wolverine fans, it's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Michigan football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Michigan Wolverines. Let's go, Wolverines! SeatGeek.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Michigan completes a 15-0 national championship season here in Houston. Bet.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Here's Charles Woodson, Michigan legend.
As a young man, I gave my all to the Wolverines, making history, earning a Heisman Trophy, and now I'm back. Introducing Woodson Whiskey, the first spirit sponsor in school history, crafted with the same passion and excellence that defined my career. Woodson Bourbon Whiskey, where legacy meets excellence. Go blue and go Woodson Whiskey. Cheers, and please drink responsibly.
Foguth Financial Group is the proud wealth management partner of Michigan Athletics. The 4th annual Night Out at the Big House sold out, but due to increased demand, another date is scheduled for Thursday, November 6th. Learn strategies for managing the risks of retirement and enjoy complimentary dinner and drinks, door prizes, and exclusive access to Tour Michigan Stadium. Just go to mgoblue.com/bighouse to sign up. That's mgoblue.com/bighouse. Limited seats are available.
Kohl's has the back-to-school styles that will spoil them at prices that will spoil you. From jeans and tees to sneakers and more, which means you can do it all without overdoing your budget when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Doug Karsch, John Jansen, Jason Avant. Sean Benny walked off the field under his own power. So that is good news, but already rolling defensively without Trey Pierce up front. They always raved about their depth here, so now we're going to get to see how deep they are. Damon Payne, Trey Williams, Eno Etta,
Yeah, and I mean, Jason, the heat that's down on the field. I know we're in mid-October. It's not supposed to be this warm. How's it feel down there?
Yeah, it's a high 70s. I had to take my sweater off, and I was burning up down here. So now I'm in a polo. But the guys seem like they're not being affected at all. There's a bunch of guys that are not even sweating, so they're used to this, especially with being out in California last week.
This is 3rd down and a long 4 for Washington. Fans know the assignment here as they rise to their feet and make some noise at the big house. Williams has 2 receivers split wide left. Now they motion Boston out there in a bunch formation. He's looking that direction, will deliver, and it's caught by Boston, but I think he's short of the first down. He is at the 25-yard line. I think he's going to be just short.
Yeah, looks like he's about a half-yard short, and it'll be interesting to see what
Washington's going quickly. They're sprinting to the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down and less than a yard. Wolverines get lined up. Here we go. Williams takes the snap, hands it off to Coleman, and he breaks a tackle in the backfield and gets the first down. Oh, man.
God, they had him dead to rights in the backfield. The penetration was there. They just got to finish. If they do, it's a turnover on downs. It's as good as an interception, as a fumble.
That would have been deep in Washington territory as well.
Sharon was headed over toward the official for a timeout, but didn't get it in time.
1st and 10 for Washington from their own 27-yard line. Big risk there. Pays off for Jed Fish. Williams under center. Takes the snap. Play action back to pass. Setting up a wide receiver screen, and it's caught. 25-30 and dropped at the 34-yard line. Wow, Cole Sullivan was there. A bunch of Wolverines were there, and they just broke it and got a gain of 6.
It's not a game of getting close or being there. You got to actually figure out a way, whether it's on 4th down or in a position like this. Cole Sullivan was right there. Could have made a play for about a 2-yard loss. Instead, it goes for a 6-yard gain.
So I missed that.
I thought that Cole Sullivan got pushed in
Blocked
the back.
in the back.
There.
Yeah, I was just about to say. That's why I missed the tackle. 2nd down and call it 5. Williams rolls out right, fires, and it's caught, but dropped immediately by, who was that? Jimmy Roller out there. It's a tight end to Graff. No gain. In fact, he lost a yard.
All right, so now they've forced him into 3rd and long. It's, 3rd and 6?
Yeah.
This is another opportunity to get this team off the field.
Ball's at the 32. They got to get across the 38. Is that Trey Pierce back out there? Trey Pierce back in the game.
Yep, Pierce is back in there. Then they have a speed defensive end package out there now.
3rd and 6 for the Huskies. Late 3rd quarter, tied at 7. Big play here. Williams takes the snap, back to pass, under duress, delivers, it's tipped and incomplete. Out at the 45-yard line, Desmond Roebuck couldn't come up with it, and Washington looking at a 4th and 6. I doubt Jed Fish will go for it here.
No, Trey Pierce was the only big in there, and they had TJ Guy, they had Cam Brandt, Derek Moore. I mean, they had all the speed guys in there along with Jay Sean Barham, and just too much speed for Washington to handle on that 3rd down.
Indeed, Washington will punt with Luke Dunn, who only punted 9 times all year coming into this game. 3rd punt? It's his 3rd punt. I believe it's his 3rd punt. Samaj Morgan standing on his own 24-yard line. Dunn puts his right foot into it, gets off a good one. Samaj backing up, catches it at the 14. Make a man miss, son. Makes one man miss, tries to spin out of it, but gets tackled right there at the 18-yard line. So a good punt there. A good time for the Huskies and Luke Dunn. We're tied at 7, 3:39 to go here, 3rd quarter. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings could up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Fall is in season at Kohl's, and you know what that means. Pumpkins, plaid, and anything that smells like cinnamon. This week, take an extra 20% off decor, home furnishings, bedding, and more. So whether fall is your entire personality or you're just a casual pumpkin enthusiast, the deals at Kohl's are here for your seasonal style. Select styles, some exclusions apply. 20% offer ends October 19th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
If you haven't listened to the Defend the Block podcast, here's what you've been missing.
With Will Cheddar, I think that's what our team really needs to be focused on, that 1-0 mentality. Obviously, everyone's aware of what everyone's saying. It's kind of inevitable. If you have a cell phone, you know what's going on. But being able to kind of block that out.
Defend the Block, covering Michigan basketball all year long on MGO Blue Podcasts. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Today's game is presented by the leaders and best at Michigan medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. To find your Michigan answer, visit MichiganAnswers.com. Wolverines, Huskies, we're live in Ann Arbor for this Big Ten showdown.
John Jansen recognized along with the rest of the Hall of Honor class in the TV timeout there. Congratulations, John.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Imagine being mentioned with Carol Hudson.
I know, she's definitely the star of the show.
She got a huge roar from the fans here at the Big House. 1st and 10, Michigan from their own 18, tied at 7. Handoff Jordan Marshall running left. Gets out to about the 20 before he's pushed backwards. They're going to get a gain of a couple there on 1st down. Running behind Blake Frazier, in for the injured Evan Link.
Now, Michigan's been able to put together a couple of nice drives. Obviously, the touchdown that they had was 7 plays, 80 yards. Before they turned it over on downs inside the red zone, it was 10 plays, 55 yards. They've found a decent rhythm. They now just have to figure out, put that together with putting it in the end zone.
2nd down and call it 7 for Michigan. Underwood takes the snap. Going to go quarterback keeper running left. 20, puts his head down out to the 24-yard line. Short gain there. 3rd and manageable. Bryce so far in this game, 19 of 25 for 192 yards. I would argue that should be 23 of 25.
Yeah,
minimum.
There's only been a couple of missed throws. There's just been a whole lot of drops.
Utilize them there in the run game to make this 3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line. Tied at 7, 2:35 to go, 3rd quarter. Bunch formation to the right on this critical play. Underwood brings Samaj Morgan in motion. Snap. Back to pass is Bryce. Going to step up in the pocket. He's in trouble. Stays up, puts his head down, and gets close to the 1st down. They're going to call him a yard short. And here we go again. Yeah. Does Sharon Moore go for it on 4th and short this deep in his own territory?
That official on that side of the field is...
That's not a very friendly spot.
Both down in less than a yard. And
playing field position. And I know the crowd obviously wants them to go for it. We saw Jed Fish do that just a few minutes ago on the Washington side of things. But
Michigan did it on 4th and 2 and came up short.
Yeah.
Back will punt. Fans want him to go for it. Back is deep. Has the snap. Puts his left foot into it. Gets off a good one. There you go. Denzel Boston will signal for a fair catch back at his 18-yard line.
Yeah, I know that the fans wanted him to go for it, and honestly, Washington should not have converted that 4th and 1, and I think the fans probably feel a little bit differently not having seen that already.
55-yard punt at a good time for Hudson Hollenbach as the Wolverines and Huskies get late in this one. 1:32 to go, 3rd quarter, tied at 7. Let's throw it to the update desk and Rob Joyce. Rob?
Hey, Doug, there are 7 other Big Ten games today, but ours is still the only one going on. Everything else begins later on, top of the hour. Northwestern will take on Purdue and Evanston. 3:30, the Big Ten leaders both in action. Indiana hosting Michigan State, a chance to move up in the polls after Miami's loss last night. Ohio State, meanwhile, on the road at Wisconsin. Badgers starting a stretch of Ohio State, Oregon, Washington, and Indiana. Elsewhere, Rutgers and Oregon meet in Piscataway at 6:30. At 7, Penn State tries to snap its 3-game losing streak at Iowa. And UCLA trying for a 3rd straight win at home, meeting Maryland. Night in the league rounds out 7:30. USC's on the road at Notre Dame in a top 20 clash. Nationally, some good ones going on right now. Late third quarter in Nashville. Vanderbilt 24, LSU 21. That's a top 20 SEC game. While number 12, Georgia Tech late in the third, tied at 10 with Duke. Both teams 3-0 in ACC play. Still to come, Georgia hosting Ole Miss at 3:30, Alabama, Tennessee 7:30, and then BYU and Utah at 8. All of those are ranked unranked matchups. We'll run through the entire day in college football, get to the highlights of our game, and get post-game reaction all on the SeatGeek post-game show, guys.
Of course, John Jansen back at the big house. We got the Frisbee dog out there, and he dropped the Frisbee, and John, it's contagious today.
It is. It seems like it's contagious, but he just caught a 30-yard pass. So
there we go.
Let's see if that's contagious as well.
By the way, great moment there. They were throwing out T-shirts during the updates. One of the T-shirts supposed to go up in the stands. It fell behind the Michigan bench, and our boy Woz picked it up. Good friend of ours, Tom Wozniak, who then turned around and gave it to a kid.
Of course he did. That's what he would do. But
he's the man.
He is.
I miss him from being down there on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's always the one that has great insight as to what's going on down there.
Always said smart stuff.
Well, he's already came to speak to me a few times already. I'm not going to say what he said.
Well, there's been missed opportunities for Michigan. They're right in this one, and this is, hey, they're not playing their sharpest game, but still in it against an exceptionally good opponent. The defense coming out here in the second half. A couple first downs, but that's it. And now they're asked to get the ball back for the offense again. Following, Hudson Hollenbeck, bravo. Good time for a 55-yard punt.
Yeah, he's not been consistent, throughout the course of the year. But we'll take all those that we possibly can get. And I mean, here's the thing: this is an explosive offense that Michigan is facing, and to this point, they've kept them in check. But you can't keep playing with fire. Michigan is going to have to eventually get some points on the board and support this defense.
I mean, it's weird to only have 7 points on a day where it really feels like the quarterback's having a good day.
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown for 192 yards to this point.
Late third quarter, tied at 7. Washington with the football from their own 18-yard line. Damon Williams in a shotgun takes the snap, looks right, fires, picked off! It's Cole Sullivan at the 15. He's knocked out of bounds. His third of the year, which leads the Michigan team. And the Wolverines are set up on the doorstep thanks to the Pittsburgh native Cole Sullivan.
Oh, wow. If the offense isn't going to do it, defense step in and do it for you. You're not going to get any better field position than that. And, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what Damon Williams was looking at because Cole Sullivan wasn't doing anything sneaky. He was right in the passing lane, and God, you love it when one of those defensive guys finally makes a catch.
I thought that ball was tipped, but it didn't matter. He was there. We need to put him on offense. He has hands. He needs to be at tight end.
I guess it was the right decision to punt.
Yeah.
Here goes Michigan, 1st and 10 from the Washington 14-yard line. Can they capitalize? 3 receivers split wide right. It is Bryce Underwood in a shotgun with Jordan Marshall, sidecar right. They shift Max Bredesen from right to left. Now he comes back towards the line of scrimmage, and they'll hand it off to Jordan Marshall, running left, 10-5, Jordan Marshall to the end zone, and into the blue. Touchdown, Wolverines, and Michigan is back on top, 13-7.
They've been working on this play all week, and what they're doing is they're basically letting the 3-tech leak into the backfield, and Max is coming back instead of taking the end of the line of scrimmage, which they have been doing really for a couple of years now. They let that 3 technique come upfield, Max kicks him out, and there's just a gigantic hole for Jordan Marshall there. Great play design, great execution.
Number 23, the interception. Number 23, the touchdown. And on for the extra point is Dominic Zavada. Snap is clean, hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. One play, 14 yards in 6 seconds. That's an efficient touchdown drive.
Yep, and just like you said, I think we're okay with that punt now.
14-yard touchdown run by Jordan Marshall. Brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Wolverines cash in on the great play by Cole Sullivan, who leads this Michigan team now with 3 interceptions. Not something you always see from the linebacker spot, huh?
No, but he's such a great athlete, and he's long, right? He has the ability to cover some ground because of the speed, but he's also got a great reach and doing a nice job of reading the quarterback's eyes, dropping into his zone, and just taking a play that's there to be taken.
Yeah, and he doesn't play all the snaps, right? So he's only playing, a third of the snaps defensively, and you have 3 picks. Sounds like he needs more snaps.
Well, he's going to get them.
Well, you go back to the beginning of the season against New Mexico, he only had a handful of snaps, but then he had a sack as well as the interception. And as the year's going on, every single game he's getting a little bit more. That just allowed them to use Jayshawn Barham in creative ways. When you get play like that and the depth that this group has at the linebacker position, by far the best position that on either side of the ball is the way that these linebackers have played.
He also said after that game where he had the sack and the interception, asked which was his favorite. He said, actually, I blew up a guy on the first kickoff of the game. I like that, the passes. Yeah. That's a linebacker talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beckham Sunderland's kicking will go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and Washington will take over on the 25-yard line. All right, here we go. 1:20 to go, third quarter. Michigan back on top, 14-7. Boy, the defense, Wink Martindale, has dialed it up here in the second half.
Well, and it's we talked about this. It's going to be more like the defense that we saw against Nebraska, where they tighten things up in the second half, and that's honestly what we've seen. They come out, force them into a 3-and-out, and they gave up a few yards, but force a punt. Michigan doesn't do anything offensively, but just to get that big play, that turnover, that momentum shift, and to be able to capitalize on it.
That was the second interception of the year for Damon Williams, who will take the snap and drop back to pass. Looking right, he's going to deliver far side, and he's got a man at the 35 who breaks a tackle out to the 40, where Jimmy Rolder brings down the receiver out there, Desmond Roebuck. First down for Washington to the 42, 17 yards.
And in large part, the protection has been really good for Damon Williams, and they're going to start taking some shots downfield.
They're going no huddle. Williams back to pass. And delivers as the pass rush comes and gets it to Boston at the Michigan 45, and he is dropped at the Michigan 42-yard line. Boy, he just got that away before the pass rush got home. 16 yards there. Clock running, 42 seconds to go in a quarter.
He's not a big guy, but boy, he's a tough sucker. He stands in there and takes some hits.
Back to pass again, delivers over the middle, and is it picked off again? Jimmy Rolder comes up with it. Damon Williams throws his second interception, and less than a minute later, his third interception of the season, both times picked off by Michigan linebackers.
And I'll have to see this one again. I think that ball might have just ended up in Jimmy Rolder's hands. I don't think he was looking. I think he just found it laying right there in between his hands, and a nice job of just simply holding on.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay.
Oh, man, what a great play. Ball was just behind the tight end and right there for Jimmy Rolder to snatch it out of the air.
Well, suddenly the Wolverines have the lead and the football as Jimmy Rolder puts on the shades on his turnover buffs on the sidelines. How about these linebackers making plays? Brian Jean-Marie.
Yeah, how about we take a shot downfield here? See if we can capitalize on this.
The 38-yard line. Jasper Parker in at running back here. Bryce Underwood looks like he wants to change the play. And he takes the snap. Hand off to Parker running left across the 40 and out to the 41-yard line for a gain of 3 on first down.
Well, we'll take it, obviously. A nice first down, gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Doesn't seem so bad, but we got to find a way to get up on those linebackers.
That'll be the final play of quarter number 3 as Michigan will take a 14-7 lead to the fourth quarter, and the Wolverines have the football looking at a 2nd and 7 from their own 41. When we continue from the Big House, this is Michigan football from Learfield.
The wild-eyed Southern Boys return. 38 Special. With special guest Molly Hatchet. Saturday, November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $39. On sale now at the box office or online at etix.com. Just hold on, 38 Special and Molly Hatchet. November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Hail to the victors. This is Wolverines football from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Michigan takes a 14-7 lead to the fourth quarter. The Wolverines outgaining Washington so far 306 to 257. But the story of this game has been the third quarter. The game has changed on the 2 turnovers, both interceptions. Damon Williams, both picked off by Michigan linebackers. Cole Sullivan and Jimmy Roller. And Michigan has the football now with a 7-point lead at their own 41-yard line, looking at a 2nd and 7.
And, I mean, to be able to capitalize on that, I mean, huge momentum. You get the ball in the red zone, and it's one play, Jordan Marshall touchdown. Now you get the ball back at midfield, right around midfield. What can Michigan do to, one, take a little bit of time off the clock, but then to capitalize on the momentum of punching this one into the end zone as well?
It is so big to get points out of this drive.
And even if you just get a field goal, to be able to go up 2 scores would feel so much better at this point.
We know this Washington team will not quit. They've been in this situation pretty much this whole season where they're down in a game, especially the last 2 games. But so we know they're not going to give up. So Michigan has to keep their foot on the gas.
And with an offense that is so explosive, I mean, they could change this thing with just one pass play. And so, yeah, to be able to go up 2 scores here, to give you a little bit of breathing room. And on 2nd and 7 here, I know I really wanted them to take a shot on that first down there. I think that would have been the time to do it.
Remember, Bryce changed the play, so maybe there was something about the coverage.
Yeah.
He didn't love.
But here's the other thing. I do like the fact that they're getting up to the line of scrimmage and getting set, because when he changed the play, it was at about 16 seconds. So he does still have Chip Lindsey in his ear at that point, helping him out with identifying the defenses and possibly making a change at that point.
Wolverines playing this one without Evan Link, who left in the first quarter with an injury. The left tackle, Blake Frazier's been in his place. Marlon Klein out, Hogan Hansen out. Hasn't seemed to bother Bryce too much now. There's been too many drop passes, but none of that matters. Catch the ball from here on out. Finish this drive, take a 2-score lead. 2nd down and 7 from the 41-yard line. Ball on the left hash. Underwood takes the snap. Hands it off to Marshall up the middle. He's going to get out to about the 45-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 3.
Well, you got to like the massive bodies that are continuing to churn forward and put this team into a manageable 3rd down situation. Now it comes down to, I mean, they've so far in the game, Michigan is only 2 of 8 on 3rd downs in conversions. The goal is to be at 50%, so they got some work to do, but this is an opportunity to get one here.
They gave him the 46. This is a 3rd and 2.
Is this 4-down territory?
Ooh, I don't know.
Nope.
3rd and 2. Underwood takes the snap, hands it off to Marshall, and his second effort comes close to the first down.
I think he got it.
I think he got it.
Yeah, the referee's spotting him.
The referee on the far side has not been a...
Would have been a friendly spot.
No, but he did get the first down. That's big. Ball's on the 48-yard line. We are inside of 14 minutes to go. Michigan leading Washington 14-7.
That's when you need a guy like Jordan Marshall, where he's just at the battering ram, because there wasn't a lot there. That one was earned almost exclusively by Jordan Marshall.
And we're going to get a timeout by Michigan. That play clock tick down to inside of 10 seconds to go.
Timeout.
And the
Michigan.
Wolverines will take a
Their first of the
timeout.
half. Full immediate timeout.
There you go. Wolverines up by 7 with the football near midfield. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Since 1980, Grand Traverse Resort and Spa has been a Michigan vacation tradition. A place where lake views meet legendary fairways, where spa days turn into starry nights, and where family memories last for generations. Whether it's a summer getaway, a fall color tour, or a cozy winter escape, your perfect Michigan vacation starts here. Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, a Michigan tradition since 1980. Book your getaway at grandtraverseresort.com. Proud partner of Michigan Athletics.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Wolverine fans, it's not a Michigan game day without a Michigan-made beer. Founders Brewing Company, your official craft beer of Michigan Athletics, has the perfect beers for your game day traditions. Founders has been brewing up high-quality, highly rated beers like All Day IPA, MI Pilsner, and their Mortal Bloom Hazy IPA right here in Michigan for over 25 years. Whether you're at the game, tailgating, or watching from home, there's nothing like enjoying a Michigan-made beer from Founders Brewing Company.
Nothing says home like Aunt Millie's. Whether it's in your cupboard, at your local Meijer, or even at the big house. From pregame breakfast, tailgate sliders, or postgame victory food, Aunt Millie's is baking memories from their family to yours. Pick up all your Aunt Millie's favorites at your local store, or grab a hot dog or hamburger at the big house to see what we're all about. Aunt Millie's, closer to home.
Time to share today's attendance. 110,701 brought to you by Aunt Millie's. That is the 327th consecutive crowd of 100,000 fans at Michigan Stadium. That's another great home attendance presented by Aunt Millie's. Nothing says home like Aunt Millie's. Whether it's pregame breakfast, tailgate sliders, or postgame comfort food, Aunt Millie's is baking memories from their family to yours. You can pick up all your Aunt Millie's favorites at your local Meijer. Aunt Millie's, closer to home. All right, Wolverines have the football, 1st and 10 from their own 48. 3 tight ends in there as they shift them from left to right. Underwood in a shotgun pistol formation with Jordan Marshall. Underwood takes the snap, hands it off to Marshall, running left into Washington territory down to the 49-yard line. Give him the 48. Gain of 4 on 1st down. Jordan Marshall moving in on 100 yards rushing today, John.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a terrific job, but I like the fact that they got Jalen Hoffman backside. They put Max Bredesen in motion, and they use him as a puller, basically as the extra pulling offensive lineman, but it's all gap schemes. And last week they really struggled with identifying linebackers and seeing run-throughs. How do you solve that problem? You run more gaps.
2nd down and 6 for Michigan, leading 14-7, early 4th quarter. Back to passes, Underwood. And he bounces out of there to the right, looking downfield, and he's in trouble. He might want to throw this one away, Bryce. He does not. He steps out of bounds for a loss of 4. He's got to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure when. I mean, hey, trust me, he's under duress. We're not the ones that are running for our lives, but at some point he's got to have that thing that goes off in his mind that just says, "Hey, get rid of the football. Don't lose 4 yards." Now instead of being 3rd and 4, you're 3rd and 8.
Ball's back at the 50. They got to get inside the Washington 42-yard line. Big play here, and we get a whistle, and I believe Washington is going to take a timeout.
After review, the ball is being placed at the 47-yard line. 3rd down.
Oh, boy.
It's going to make it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, I mean, you get to the sideline there, and he's outside the pocket, so he doesn't have to worry about it being intentional grounding. Just throw that one into the 6th row.
A difficult job just got made harder. 3rd and 11 for Michigan. Ready to go, Underwood. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. Protection holds up, delivers down the middle, and it is caught for a first down at the 30. Carrying tacklers down to the 25 is Deacon Tonelli. Well done, young man.
I think he just made up for that drop he had in the first half on third down. That was an absolute small window for Bryce to fit that ball into, and a great catch by Tonelli.
Off his back foot, too, under duress. The offensive line held up against the blitz. And Tonelli, who dropped a similar ball in a similar place in the field earlier, big catch there.
Yeah, you want to talk about throwing the ball to a spot and let your receiver go get it. That was it.
From the Washington 25, 1st and 10, in field goal range now. Underwood with 2 receivers, split wide right, 1 to the left. Takes the snap, hands it off to Jordan Marshall, running left. He's got good room, and he runs over a guy at the 20. Still going inside the 15, and down at the 14 is number 23, Jordan Marshall. Over 100 yards now on the day with that carry. Move the chains again with the clock running, and the Wolverines up 7.
The battering ram, not one guy is going to take him down. I mean, he is absolutely up to the task of, taking over for Justice Haynes, who wasn't able to go today. He has done everything you've needed him to do to be a productive running back today.
10:55 to go in the ball game. 14-7 Michigan, 1st and 10 from the Washington 14-yard line. Emphasis all week long. Finish drives. Can they finish it in the blue? Hand off to Marshall, running right. He's inside the 10 and down close to the 9-yard line, where Alex McLaughlin up from his safety spot gets the stop.
And here's where you need, obviously they're going to bring in Jasper Parker here to give Jordan just a little bit of a breather. But when you run the ball as hard as he is, you're going to take a lot of hits. And I know that Tony Alford right now is going to whisper into his ear, make sure you keep possession of that ball. Keep it high and tight, 2 arms, 2 hands.
Underwood under center, snap, fakes a reverse, rolls out to his right. He's got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Zach Marshall, the first of his career, comes at a great time here in the 4th quarter and gives Michigan a 20-7 lead against the Huskies.
Boy, I tell you what. The ability to capitalize on the momentum. Interception, 1-play touchdown. Interception, they go 9 plays, 62 yards, almost 5.5 minutes time of possession, and they just ram it right down the throats of the Washington Huskies.
What a play call. Talk about a guy coming wide open, huh? Dominic Zavada on for the extra point. Snap is good. The ball's placed down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-7, Michigan on top. 10:05 to go in the ball game. That 9-yard touchdown pass to Zach Marshall brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. 21-7 Wolverines. You're listening to Michigan football from Learfield.
Hey Michigan fans, is it time to upgrade your outdoor living space? As the #1 brand in premium decking, TimberTech scores big points for real wood looks without the costly maintenance. It will never rot, warp, splinter, or peel, and it's backed by industry-leading warranties, so your deck can perform at the top of its game season after season. TimberTech, official decking and railing partner of Michigan Athletics. Order free samples at timbertech.com. That's timbertech.com.
This is your home for the Hometown Call, the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time to think forward first. Right now, check out the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend for $359 a month for 36 months, with only $359 cash due at signing. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all buyers will qualify for a low-mileage Ford Credit Red Carpet lease. Payment includes $1,000 RCO cash, $1,000 Open Trade Assist, and $400 AXZD BFG bonus cash. Offers are only valid on Package 200A. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by November 3rd. See dealer for qualifications and details. So take advantage of this great offer and lease a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $359 a month for 36 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Washington to 7 points. I would have taken that 100 times out of 100.
Oh, no question.
Can they close it out is the question.
Well, and having those 2 scores obviously gives you a little bit of breathing room because this is an explosive offense, and they could strike at any second. But against this defense, I don't know that you really believe that you're going to give up 2 scores the rest of the game. They've only been able to manage 1 through the first 3 quarters and 5 minutes.
Here's a crazy thing. Think of the defense last week in the second half, and think of what we're seeing now. Mm-hmm. Night and day.
It is night and day, and you think of what's happened here in the second half. First drive that the defense was out there, Washington gains 2 yards, they punt. And then it was in 10 plays, 27 yards with a couple of penalties in there, but they turn over on downs. They punt, and then interception. So this has been a dominant defense here in the second half.
I'll tell you, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but give Chris Jenkins a microphone every game. That's going to get this crowd fired up.
Yeah.
Former Wolverine. How about that?
He's cut his hair, too. He doesn't have dreads anymore.
I don't have dreads anymore either, Jason.
You are bald hair brotherhood right here, baby.
It's a tight-knit group. Beckham Sunderland will kick off. And Mohammed, deep in the Washington territory, will let it go into the end zone for a touchback. So 10:05 to go. Wolverines with a 14-point lead here. The defense has come up big with interceptions in back-to-back Washington possessions. And we see Trey Pierce out there again. Trey is, I don't know, I'm not sure this isn't his 3rd play of the game. He's been in it, start of the game, came out, played a play in the 3rd quarter, and now he's back out there in the 4th.
This is a critical moment for the defense because when you go up 2 scores like this is the time where defense is kind of let down. We have to avoid that temptation and not give up the explosive plays because Washington will be desperate to get the ball down the field.
1st and 10 for the Huskies from the 25. Hand off to Coleman, running right. He's going to bounce it outside. Gets to the 30. Ernest Hausman meets him there, and he's chased out of bounds. Check that. That was Caleb Anderson. And he's chased out of bounds at the 32, a gain of 7.
You mentioned that 7 points up to this point.
Yeah.
In the second half, this Washington offense that we were so concerned about, and still are, has only gained 70 yards here in the second half.
Yeah. Mike Martindale doing a nice job at halftime. Doing a nice job. Hey, they didn't give up a long first possession drive this week either.
Yep.
Snap. Inside handoff to Coleman. Breaks a tackle in the backfield and is out close to the first down. They're going to mark him just shy. Derek Moore on the stop.
Trey Williams had him right in the backfield for about a yard loss and just couldn't hold on. And now we got another Wolverine down.
Oh, no, it's Ernest Hausman. They can't afford that. I mean, there's depth at linebacker, but they're dropping like flies. Mm-hmm. Already no Rod Moore, Brandon Hillman. Rayshawn Benny left this game. Trey Pierce has been in and out, and now they're addressing Ernest Hausman out at about the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield. Like they're looking at Ernest Hausman's knee here in Ann Arbor. 3rd and 1, we'll take a break and have this critical play straight ahead. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Any true Wolverine knows you're a Wolverine for life. At Greenleaf Trust, we believe in that same lifelong commitment. With a 99% client retention rate, our relationships span generations, just like your loyalty to the Maize and Blue. We specialize in goals-based wealth management, trust administration, and retirement plan services for today and generations to come. Because staying true isn't just a Michigan tradition, it's our tradition too. Learn more at greenleaftrust.com and go blue.
Need metal? Alro Metals Outlet makes buying metals and plastics fast and simple. Our retail stores are open to the public to walk in and shop. Our customers include machine shops, job shops, contractors, welders, hobbyists, artists, and do-it-yourselfers. Alro Metals Outlet stores offer saw cutting and shearing while you wait. Michigan locations include Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Livonia, Troy, and Warren. Learn more at alro.com.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
He's got the speed. He's got room. He's going to score.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM College Sports Radio.
For the win. Got it! Let's go!
Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go.
Deep to center field. Oh, it's gone!
Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Today's game is presented by the leaders and best at Michigan medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. To find your Michigan answer, visit MichiganAnswers.com. More of today's Michigan-Washington game is coming your way right now.
Notice Hausman walked off under his own power. See him down there on the Michigan sideline. Looks like he's testing that knee a little bit. They will run this play without him on the field. A critical third and less than a yard for Washington. They've got one of the toughest backs to bring down in their backfield, especially in these situations. And Jonah Coleman, 5'9", 220. He's in the backfield off the right hip of Damon Williams. Troy Bowles is in for this play, as we've gotten down the depth chart here a little bit with all the injuries. Jimmy Roller at linebacker as well. Here we go, third and less than a yard. Williams takes the snap, hands it off to Coleman, who's buried 4 yards deep in the backfield. Jimmy Roller was in there, and Trey Pierce. And that's going to make it fourth down and 3.5, and inside 10 minutes to go, and Michigan leading by 2 touchdowns. It looks like Washington's going to go for it.
And all that was Trey Pierce knifing across the right tackle's face to get some penetration in the backfield.
Fourth down and a long 3 for the Huskies. Jerome Moore's trying to get a timeout, and he does. Before the ball is snapped, and now a flag comes in, but I believe Michigan got the timeout first. Boy, Sharon, he was flying up the sideline to get that timeout.
I know, we might have to put the clock on him.
Yeah, coach was on the move.
Timeout, Michigan, their second of the half.
Guys, what do you make of this call by Jedd Fisch to go for it here?
Well, I mean, you got to start thinking about how many opportunities is he going to have. He's down 2 scores. And Michigan just went on a, 5-minute, 25-second drive, very methodical drive down the field. I'm not sure he's got 2 possessions left. I'm not surprised that he's going for it.
I'm kind of surprised in that Michigan, when they get a lead, they're going to probably run the ball. You stack the box, you make it a stop, and make it the ball back with 4 minutes to go, and hopefully you can get something. But I won't say surprised, but
I think it's the ultimate confidence in his quarterback, Damon, to be able to make something happen here. Whether they're going to keep it on the ground, he's going to throw a quick out.
They got to get it across the 35-yard line. 4th and 3 for the Huskies. Here we go. 3 receivers split wide to the left. Is Ernest Hausman back out there? Looks like he is, yeah. 4th and 3. Here we go. Back to pass. Here comes the rush, and he's hitting the balls out. It's on the ground. And it doesn't matter who recovers it back at the 16-yard line. It will be Michigan football. Derek Moore unleashed, provided the hit, and the Wolverines will take over deep in Washington territory.
And as a pass rusher, all you're doing is you're waiting for that moment. And on 4th down and 5, you know it's going to be a pass of some sort. He's saving his best pass rush, and they put a tight end on him, which it's hard to believe. They went max protection.
Washington recovered the football, but on 4th and 3, it didn't matter. A 7th tackle for loss today by Michigan. Credit Derek Moore.
that's so funny that Derek Moore kind of just spoke him up. An NFL scout was like, hey, what do you think about Derek Moore? And he's like, he gets to the quarterback a lot, doesn't finish. I was like, he's going to get his opportunity to finish, and definitely did today.
You just told that to a scout?
Yeah, Ryan Myers, the Eagle scout, yep.
Hand off to Jordan Marshall, running right inside the 15 and down near the 12. That is the 20th carry of the day for Jordan Marshall. Give him 5 yards. He's got 112 yards rushing and a touchdown. Alex McLaughlin on the stop. 8:19 to go. Clock running. 21-7 Michigan.
And this is where, hey, it's just a pound the rock. Find a way to continue to pick up yardage. And when you got a battering ram like Jordan Marshall, been using that term for him all day long, you're going to pick up a couple of yards.
2nd down and 5 here. Washington, they're going to stack the box, and Michigan's going to want to run it. Can they salt this one away on the ground? Play clock's inside of 5 seconds. Underwood under center, traditional I formation. Hand off to Marshall up the middle, puts his head down and gets down close to the 10, but is stopped right there. It will be a 3rd down and about 4.
And this is where Michigan, no matter what they do on this play, they need to milk this clock all the way down. If they were huddling up, just like I was talking about USC last week, you don't break it until it's at 13 seconds. So take your time. There's no rush to get to the line of scrimmage. 20 on the play clock right now.
They are at the line of scrimmage with 14 on the play clock, 7:11 to go in the game. Michigan leading this one 21-7, 3rd down and 4. Underwood takes the snap, delayed handoff. Jordan Marshall to the 10. It puts his head down inside the 5, and he's got the 1st down. Jordan Marshall brought down by Ontario Thompson, and that's going to keep the clock running and get Michigan closer to pay dirt here. 1st and goal from the 5.
Well, I'm a little surprised that on 3rd down like this that Washington's not stacking the line just a little bit more. And because all they're doing, this offensive line, who I've talked about having a hard time coming off on linebackers, there's no linebacker to come off of. So all you have to do is, as an offensive lineman, pin your ears back and just hit some of those double teams, pick up that 1st down.
Play clock inside of 10. Tick-tock. Snap, handoff. Nope, Price is going to keep it. He's going to get buried in the backfield. Should have handed that one off. That was one of those zone read plays.
Yeah.
Whoops. Alex McLaughlin with the TFL.
Well, I think
Michigan up 4 yards.
The read was right, but I don't think he was expecting a whiff up front.
Well, that'll do it. Yeah. Still, a field goal here would be massive. Make it a 3-score game. And this clock is moving. It could be inside of 5 minutes to go. Washington has all 3 timeouts, and time is becoming an issue for the Huskies. Second down and goal from the 8. Underwood in a shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Jordan Marshall. Tries to bounce it outside and does. Puts his head down at the 5 and is brought down right there by Leroy Bryant. And with 5:30 to go in the clock running, Michigan's facing a 3rd and goal from the 5.
Yeah, nice job by Jordan Marshall of bouncing that ball outside. Not much to gain there in the middle. That was the same play that they ran Jordan Marshall's touchdown run on after the first Cole Sullivan interception. Little wham block by Max Bredesen. Just not as effective on the inside of that defense.
3rd and goal from the 5 for the Wolverines. Jasper Parker, the lone setback, the freshman. One receiver to either side. Marsh and Samaj. And they'll go pitch to Parker running left inside the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds, stopping the clock with 4:54 to go. And it'll be 4th down from the 2-yard line. And, yeah, you kick the field goal here.
Yeah, there's no debate here. This is not a tough guy situation. This is go up 3 scores.
Clock running because we're outside of 4 minutes, so 4th down from they spotted it at the 3. For Zavada, this will be a 21-yard field goal, basically an offset extra point.
And this is where I'm telling my guys, hey, don't even get in your stance until we get to about 7 or 8 seconds.
That's exactly what they did with 7 seconds to go. Greg Tarr will snap it. Beckham Sunderland will put it down. And we get a delay of game. Well, they did. Yep. They milked it for as much as they could.
Delay of game.
Yeah.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
If nothing else, 5 seconds or 5 yards is going to matter here. It may actually help Dom with a better angle in regards to being able to hit it through the upright. So go ahead, take every second off the clock, walk them back 5 yards, and go ahead and rip a field goal.
4:14 to go.
Sharon Moore was on Parker coming off the sideline. Definitely let him know about running out of bounds.
Oh, here we go. Big field goal here. Now a 26-yard field goal attempt. Clean snap. Ball's placed down. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and they run into Zavada. And he pops up. This is going to be, I'm sure, marked off on the kickoff. Wolverines will likely take the points in the 24-7 lead.
Yep, going up 3 scores is certainly where you want to be.
Running
at this
into
time.
the kicker. Defense, number 7. That penalty is declined. The field goal is good.
There you go. So a 17-point lead with 4:10 to go. I can't say enough about this defense.
Well, the defense has been tremendous, and when you think about what they've done here in the second half, we talked about the first possession. They set the tone, only allowing 2 yards. It was a 3-and-out. They force a punt on the second possession, and then it's interception, and I'm going to go ahead and count. I know it won't count in the stat column, but turnover on downs, whether it was a sack fumble, there was no way they were going to complete that ball. So you take over inside the red zone already. You're able to salt away another 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes off the clock, but this defense has been vicious in the second half.
Let's remember, that was a 2nd and 3 and a 3rd and 1, which led to the turnover on downs. They really stepped up when Washington looked like they were close to getting a first down. That field goal brought to you by Citgo. Here's a club you want to get into, Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up.
I was wrong on that last possession. They had the ball inside the red zone, and they were still able to take 4 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock.
Take that every time in this situation. 24-7, Michigan on top, 4:10 to go. Sunderland approaches the football and kicks it deep. And once again, it will not be returnable. Washington will take over on the 25-yard line. I'm still impressed with Damon Williams, but Michigan's defense has made life tough on him. Really, here's where he hasn't hurt him. He hasn't hurt him on the ground.
No, he hasn't, and that's kind of surprising. With over 140 yards last week, taking away any sack yardage against Rutgers. Today, he's been relatively ineffective. You count for all that sack yardage, 5 carries minus 19 yards. That's a big win for Michigan.
Game's not over, though. Washington with the football on the 25-yard line. Williams in a shotgun. Got a bunch formation out to the left. Back to pass, looking right. Now he looks back to the left. Here comes the rush. He's going to let one go deep, way downfield, looking for Boston. Jump ball, and he drops it. Did it get picked off?
It fell into his lap.
It fell into the lap of a Wolverine who was on the ground. It's Jacob Oden. Was he on his back?
Yes, because he fell down trying to play the ball. Just all the things that can go right for you in that moment. You make a bad play on the ball and then end up with an interception.
I just saw the replay, John. I want to Jansen vision that. Here's a player laying on the ground and the ball falls into his lap. Jacob Oden with the interception. Michigan's 3rd pick of the second half, back at the Wolverine 29-yard line. Nice job, young man, the sophomore from Harper Woods.
Ask and you shall receive. Play 6.
Oh, we're going to do that one?
Why not?
Inside Michigan football tomorrow. Make sure you watch. Wow. And now the Wolverines in firm control with the football and 4 minutes to go. From the 29-yard line. Bryce Underwood takes the snap, hands it off. It's Jasper Parker, and he gets a yard. Big 6'4" tailback. Check that, 6 foot. He looks taller than that. I got to tell you, this 3 interceptions in the second half. This extends Michigan's streak to 11 consecutive games with an interception.
I mean, that was a point of emphasis when you talk to every guy in the secondary, but especially on the defense. It was just about creating turnovers. Now, they haven't been able to create a whole lot of fumbles, but man, oh man, they've been ball hawks in the secondary.
24-7, Michigan on top, clock running, 3:23 to go. Underwood claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it off, running left. There's some room there for Jordan Marshall out near the 34, and Washington's going to use a timeout. Alex McLaughlin on the stop. Clock stops with 3:08 to go.
You know it's your day when you botch a play, end up on your back, and the ball comes right to you.
Well, I got to tell you, hey, you guys think about the first half, and we were sitting here logging the missed opportunities, dropped passes, dropped interceptions. They have more than made up for it in this second half.
Yeah, definitely have.
Well, and it's been some of the guys, too. Like, we talked about Deacon Tonelli and the dropped pass that he had over the middle, it was 2nd and 20. He would have converted that over to a first down, and then all of a sudden in the second half, he comes up with not just a great pass by Bryce Underwood, but a great catch by Deacon Tonelli. So, yeah, all's not forgiven, but we'll take it.
And now for the defense as well, you saw Suge with a pick 6, and then they come back and get 3 interceptions right there. The defense made up for theirs as well.
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd down and 6 for Michigan, who's probably more concerned with the clock ticking than getting the first down, which, of course, they go hand in hand if they can move the chains here. Pistol formation. Underwood puts Bredesen in motion towards the line of scrimmage and will hand it off up the middle, and is that Jasper Parker who gets the first down out to the 41, spinning out of a tackle. No, Jordan Marshall, my apologies. Move the chains, though.
Yeah, Jordan Marshall, prior to that carry, it was 24, now it's 25 carries, 133 yards, so I know that, it was a lot was made, it should be made, about Justice Haynes and having the consecutive games over 100 yards, but insert Jordan Marshall, and very similar results.
1st and 10 for Michigan at their own 41-yard line. Clock running, 2.5 to go. Bryce standing there. He can let the clock tick down under 5. Puts Bredesen in motion. The play clock inside of 5. He snaps it, and running left is Marshall, and we got a flag fly in as he gets out to the 44-yard line.
Lazy hands.
Is that what it was?
Lazy hands.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you just, first of all, it's a lazy
Holding.
feet.
Offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And when you get behind someone and you're just trying to, quick snatch them down, your hands get to where they're not supposed to be, and you just leave them there.
Back up Michigan 10 yards after the hold to the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20. It's the 5th penalty on Michigan in this game. They got Parker back in there at running back. Underwood with 2 receivers split to either side. We'll hand it off to Parker running right now. Underwood's going to keep it. Nice ball fake to the 40, to the 45, and he slides at the 50, just shy of the first down. Sleight of hand from the freshman quarterback and an effective QB run. And they mark him where he started the slide, which is at the 48-yard line, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout.
Well,
and he stayed in bounds.
Yeah, he stayed in bounds, but a great job. I mean, that's one of the things that is really underrated, especially in today's football. You don't see great ball handling skills in the backfield. And there's been 3 or 4 times today where we thought that he's handed the ball off and he's either kept it and thrown it, kept it and run it. That's a tremendous job and a lot of work that's put in between him and the running backs.
We've reached a 2-minute timeout. This last call is presented by Founders Brewing Company, a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics. It's not a Michigan game day without a Michigan-made beer. Founders Brewing Company, welcome to craft. 24/7, Michigan on top. We're at the 2-minute timeout. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
We asked our team, why did you choose to work for Michigan Medicine? Here are some of their answers.
Being able to interact with patients, offer them hope, and hopefully giving them care that they couldn't receive anywhere else is the biggest thing.
Because it's the best of the best. We have great benefits, we have great leadership.
I love what I do. This is a place where you want to be if you're looking to make change.
To our team, we say, thank you for choosing us. We shape the future of healthcare together at Michigan Medicine.
Experiencing a Wolverines game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the field, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, exclusive freight partner of Michigan Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward, so listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Just gave a warning that there is weather moving into the area. We do not want a delay here. With Michigan up 24-7 at the 2-minute timeout. Suddenly this first down feels very critical.
Yes, it does.
Second down and 3. Pistol formation. Underwood takes the snap, hands it off to Jasper Parker, and he's got the first down. Up the middle, almost broke it. And they'll move the chains. Hey, it's time to spotlight today's Best in the Game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to be to support those striving to be the best in theirs.
I'm going to go with the linebackers. And when you're talking about the linebackers, it's the interceptions, obviously by Cole Sullivan to start things off here in the third quarter. And then it was Jimmy Rolder with another interception. They've been the most consistent group. Jimmy Rolder, leader in tackles with 8 tackles. Ernest Hausman with 7. Like, you go down the list, and it's linebacker after linebacker.
And the 46, snap and a handoff to Parker up the middle, and he's inside the 45, down to the 41. Clock running, 1:16 to go. As the Wolverines lead this one by 17. Let's preview the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Meyer. Well, John, it's Michigan State next week.
Yep, Spartans, and we'll find out either late tonight or early tomorrow morning what time that game is going to be. But they've had some struggles in East Lansing, but you can never underestimate what that game means to both sides and how physical that team is going to play. We'll see how they do against Indiana today.
Our preview of the upcoming schedule brought to you by Meyer, presenting sponsor of the 2025 Michigan football season and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. The Wolverines are in victory formation here at the Big House as Bryce Underwood takes a snap with 39 seconds to go. Washington will let the clock tick down. The Wolverines will not have to snap it again. And thanks to a 17-point second half from the offense and a shutout from the defense in half number 2, Michigan gets the win over the Huskies here in Ann Arbor. The Wolverines improve to 5-2. Washington drops to 5-2 as Michigan riding the back of what I would say was the best game of Bryce Underwood's career. We'll have a look at his stats, and the Wolverines, hey, good job bouncing back from a sloppy first half with drop passes and mistakes and missed field goals. Well, they got it done in the second half here in Ann Arbor against the Huskies. Lots of post-game coverage to come from here in Ann Arbor, including a trip into the Michigan locker room, as we'll hear from the head coach of the Wolverines, Sharon Moore. Also, Jason Avant will be up the tunnel and talking to members of this Michigan team from inside the locker room. We'll have scores from around the country with Rob Joyce, analysis from Jack Miller, as he'll sit down with Brian Bush here shortly. From here at the Big House, again, the final score, Michigan 24 and Washington 7. You're listening to Michigan football from Learfield.
Touchdown! From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go, go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meyer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meyer.com/community.
Fall is in season at Kohl's, and you know what that means. Pumpkins, plaid, and anything that smells like cinnamon. This week, take an extra 20% off decor, home furnishings, bedding, and more. So whether fall is your entire personality or you're just a casual pumpkin enthusiast, the deals at Kohl's are here for your seasonal style. Select styles, some exclusions apply. 20% offer ends October 19th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Gambling can be fun.
Here we go.
Kind of like skydiving. The thrill, the excitement. But be careful. or gambling will start to feel like skydiving without a parachute. For tips that will help keep you out of harm's way, go to don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Have a gambling problem? Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to the SeatGeek postgame show. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of the Michigan Wolverines. Our coverage is also brought to you by the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Learn how to play it smart when you're gambling. Visit don'tregretthebet.org. And by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Now, here's your host, Brian Bush.
Michigan had to have it. Michigan got it. The Wolverines dispose of Washington 24-7, improve to 5-2 on the season, and keep themselves in the conversation for the college football playoff, maybe, who knows, even Big Ten. But that was a had-to-have-it. Michigan delivers. Lots to do on the SeatGeek postgame show. Analysis from the crew. We'll have interviews with Jason Avant in the locker room, head coach Sharon Moore's thoughts, and a whole lot more. Highlights, stats, out-of-town scores. A big show after a big win. We start with the man who called it, Doug Karsh. Doug, this was one where, kind of similar to the national championship game, where the score will look a little bit more misleading than the game actually was. It was right there for both teams to take, and Michigan with a few big plays. In that case, back in Houston,